Welcome back, Golan-Globus. And if you're here last week, you missed out. We turned chicken shit into chicken salad. Yeah. This week, I said these idiots, they want the prime cut. They want the beef.
This is their, well, they want the turkey.
They want the
turkey?
turkey?
This is our Thanksgiving episode.
Oh, that's right. They want more white meat.
Yeah, but apparently they just want the sides.
They just want the sides.
Yeah, they don't, because
they don't want to go.
I don't know why. I was going to say our audience never learns. We never learn. Because we love Thanksgiving is a time to give, right? It's in the name, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so we like to give by letting our audience choose the episode.
Right.
And so the theme of this year's Thanksgiving episode is Home Stallone.
Home Stallone.
Because we're home with Stallone.
Right.
And so I put up 4 episodes. I mean, not 4 episodes, 4 movies.
4 movies.
On a poll. Rocky 3, classic.
Classic.
Rambo 3, not so much of a classic, but still more of a classic.
Entertaining.
The movie we're doing, Cliffhanger.
Right.
And then because brain fart, I totally blanked out on Demolition Man. I totally would have put that on the poll, but I blanked out. So I was like, stop with my mama show. Let's throw that because I know everyone's going to want Rocky.
Right.
So I'm just like, I'll just throw that on there. But no.
Yeah, you forget fans of anything, any kind of community like this, they're sadists. They just want to see people fucking suffer.
Yeah, it's all negativity.
I can't think of anything worse than watching Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And I am a fan of The Apple. I'm a fan of some other trashy movies. Neil Breen, I love him.
Yes.
But my God, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Stallone comedies.
We've never even seen it, and we know it's not worth doing.
Yeah, Stallone comedies have to be some of the worst shit out there.
Yeah. So I noticed some discrepancies. I was like, I need to get Cyber Ninja Dominion on it.
Right.
We audited all 70 votes. Were audited over and over and over. The Chads were hanging.
The Chads were all over the place.
So much hanging Chads.
Yeah.
And we noticed that there's no way. I mean, there were some people they're not dead, but they're dead to me because they voted for Stop on My Mom Shoot.
And bragged about it.
So their votes don't count. They got negated. They got thrown in the trash.
That's right. If you announce what you voted for, boom, that's disqualified.
Right, because we know you're not even going to listen. It'd be one thing if you voted for Stop on My Mom Shoot because you wanted to hear the review, but if it's like, no, I don't even listen to these fucking assholes.
Right.
I just like voting.
Just going to pile the laundry on top of us. We're going to clean your drawers? No. We're going to cliffhang today. And we're not just going to do it alone, Murray.
Right. And here's another thing.
What's another thing?
Our very special guest. You think we're going to waste his time with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
No.
He would beat the shit out of us.
I saw the cover of that movie, and I judge every book by the cover. And there was Stallone in a baggy suit. Right. He's hiding his best features.
Right, and what's on the cover of Cliffhanger? Short shorts, tank top, glistening muscles. When I think of glistening muscles, who do we think about, Griff?
Well, we think about one of the most leanest men of all time. Wait, is lean a bad adjective to use there? I think it is, all right? Lean just means you got no fat on you.
Yeah, shredded.
Shredded beef, Mr. Coleman.
Thanks for having me, guys. No. Lean is perfect as long as you're still huge. You want to be huge and lean.
Okay.
You can actually be huge and lean?
Yeah. But that's the constant struggle. Like, my entire life, I've wanted to be 265 pounds, not an ounce under, not an ounce over, and just 2% body fat.
You see, perfection.
I don't think it's possible, but I'm aiming for it. Especially with my height and genetics. It doesn't matter. I can still dream. Damn it, I can still dream.
Perfection. That's what you're hearing out of him. 265, not an ounce over under. That's the
ideal weight, 265.
Yes, it is. We can't give Mr. 265 Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
No.
Got to give him a clip.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
And you guys hit the nail on the head when we talk about the poster for Cliffhanger.
Right.
That's why I was like, man, I don't really remember much about this movie except for like some sort of bondage imagery. No. It was just him almost nude, hanging from the rope, but the beautiful mountains in the back of him. I was like, this is good.
I like to believe that is somebody's foreplay. We do learn that it's Hale's foreplay. Yeah. Is to get a girl all, bondaged up in the climbing gear. And take her
in a secluded area where she can't escape.
I feel like there's a lot of symbolism under the surface of this movie. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I have a feeling we'll figure it out as we do this movie. We always do. We always find out what the greater meaning of the movie, what they didn't say.
So I was a Cliffhanger virgin. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Did you guys ever see Cliffhanger before?
Just the cover.
I think it was the cover and
The
maybe
opening
some
scene.
bits on HBO. Like I thought for a second when I saw Michael Rooker in the credits, I was like, oh, he's got to be the heel in the movie for sure.
Right.
And especially because young Michael Rooker looks almost like a mini Sid Vicious.
Yes.
He literally looks like Psycho
I
Sid.
agree, yeah.
And I'm the world's biggest
The wrestler
fan.
Sid Vicious,
I
not the
love
punk rock.
Yeah. The dude who power bombs people. He's awesome. But I was like, he's got to be the heel. But I mean, he wasn't. But still, it was great. I never actually saw it all the way through, though.
Right.
Yeah, because here's the thing. 90s action movies, they're not bad, but they don't stand out. Like,
Right.
This movie was not a bad movie.
It's not. It just exists.
But it doesn't make me want to see it again either.
It doesn't show that that same reach that a lot. Cobra's a dumb movie, but there's so much in there that you remember from Cobra.
Right.
Stallone's cutting horrible jokes with giant ceramic cheeseburgers. He's fucking all over the place. He's shooting Pepsi cans over. There's a lot to remember from Cobra.
There's cutting a pizza with scissors.
Exactly. He's got his gun in an egg carton.
I think what we're trying to say is like in the 80s, the movie itself was actually very entertaining, very
Yes.
good. The story had a lot you can sink your teeth into, whereas in the 90s, you were selling the star of the movie more so than any of the script, the story, whatever. So it was almost like Stallone was like, I have a passion for rock climbing. I think it'd be a good idea if we did a movie where I could be on the mountains, give them some of that Rocky IV imagery.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Well, this was also that era. Everything was Die Hard on a blank.
Yes.
Yeah,
And this is Die Hard on a mountain.
Yeah.
And this is where... Griff, we love our henches.
We love our
The
henches.
80s was the peak hench. Everyone stood out.
Everyone's doing cocaine. Everybody's trading.
Everyone's got like a mohawk or some weird dressing or
right. Blandest.
Yeah, and then in the 90s, and I kind of blame Die Hard did it right. Die Hard's a classic. We're not
Yes.
even going to say that's not.
Oh, yeah.
But the derivative copies are not classic.
Right.
And they introduced the whole idea of European bad guys. Die Hard did it right.
Die Hard did a great
But
job.
then when everything that copied and followed, it's just... And from here, we're still talking about bland European bad guys.
Right.
Generic. They don't stand out.
And at least for us, we were reminded very much of Howie Long's movie Backdraft, I think it was called.
Fireproof?
yeah.
Fireproof, maybe. You remember that?
Backdraft, yeah.
Backdraft.
Is it Backdraft? I thought that was a
Yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Russell movie.
I think it was. I saw it when I was like
Fire
6.
Down Below.
But I just
Fire
remember-
Down Below.
That's
Okay.
it. Fire
Okay,
Down
we were
Below.
way off. But that was another movie. It was like Backdraft
Backdraft,
or
yeah, it was
something.
about firefighters,
Yeah.
That was the Kurt
brothers,
Russell
and
movie.
yeah, I saw a
Okay.
dude. I remember I was scarred because it showed a guy like burnt to a crisp, pretty much. It was very gruesome. I
Ooh,
was like,
yeah.
oh man.
So Fire Down Below was this movie, except with forest fires
Instead
and
of
shit.
fire, it's ice.
Yes. So they just kind of flipped
Did you
that
also
around.
notice nobody can never see anyone's breath, even though we're supposed to be like up on a mountain?
Yeah. I love that. I just they hide Stallone's best asset, his body. Like you open up, you see his
Oh, they
body.
busted out a little bit later.
Yeah, they found reasons like take his coat off.
Yeah, they
How he didn't die of hypothermia in that scene.
Yeah. Like they had
Makes
to,
no sense.
They had to work around it. So I'll give them a little credit there. They had to be creative to be like, how are we gonna get this guy's jacket off?
Stallone probably came up with it. Yeah, I haven't taken my shirt off yet.
Well, he is.
Just make sure they compliment my body, my butt at the beginning.
Well, he claims this was his peak body. Was this era?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It had to have been Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Come on.
I'm just saying.
And
he
no,
said.
I heard it was like Rambo was his favorite.
He was.
Era.
He
What
was
Rambo.
Well, he did Rambo 3. He was pretty shredded too, and that was the same kind of era.
He just likes it all. He's a big fan of himself. He
I
just
think-
can't
I'm a
figure
big
it
fan.
out.
I
Put a
don't
lot
give
of
a
work into it.
Yeah.
You see him in Rocky, he's kind of doughy looking,
Yeah.
and then he's just fucking ripped, tanned, shaved.
Oh, right. Okay. Original Rocker,
Yeah. By Rocky 3, it's like that's a heavyweight champion.
That is a heavyweight champion. So we do get some excuses to see Stallone in his proper form, half naked.
In the very beginning, we get it.
You're right. I couldn't figure out what his love connection was either, because I was like,
couldn't either for
is
a
he
bit.
banging the young curly hair, or is he banging
that was
the?
Hell's.
I thought they might have been a throuple of some sort. Maybe that before that
He
was even
said
a
it.
term.
He
Maybe
said
before
it.
that was even a term because it was weird. Because like she smooches him on the lips.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, and he looks over at.
And then he's talking
Sid.
about having dinner that night. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, I
that's
thought it was
fucking-
supposed to be a double date. Like
I
for
think.
dinner.
Well, that's
Yeah.
eventually what I figured out when we figured it. But it's like, wait, he's dating the.
Oh, they've definitely tapped it, but I think he's committed to Jesse. But he
Yeah.
probably
It's just...
That's probably how Hal got her, was through Gabe.
It was supposed to make Stallone look more modest, because you're like, oh, he's banging the young chick with the hair, clearly. And then it's like, oh, no, he's banging the modest woman with the lesbian haircut. Yeah. So it's like, wait, is that supposed to be some kind of characterization of Stallone?
Yeah, an evolution of the Stallone character. Well, his character's always had the mousy. Adrian's the mousy chick.
Yeah,
I mean,
Adrian is a
but in
mousy
real
chick.
life, he likes the Amazons, like Brigitte Nielsen, right?
Yeah.
That was the
yeah.
whole deal.
Yeah.
So it was like...
Now,
Playing against type.
I did really appreciate, of course, we have all nature in this movie, so we're tactically training in nature.
Yes.
But I feel
We're
like
existing in nature.
they missed the boat big time on one of his biggest features here, which is his hand strength. You think he would have been like crushing nuts constantly?
That would have been good. A good scene where he crushes a walnut.
Right, because we see him hanging from a cliff face.
Literally cliffhanging.
And it's unbelievable. Your hand strength to be able to do that has to be through the fucking roof. And he's just doing that, no big deal. He's cracking jokes over a radio while he's doing this.
Like, was it even necessary that he climbed up to Hal?
No!
Like, they had a chopper to pick him up and go. Well, we'll get into it when we get into the movie,
Yes,
but
yeah.
that scene makes no sense.
But I needed him crushing a peanut with his hand, or not a peanut, but like a pecan or some kind of hard shell.
Walnut.
You're right. I knew a dude who was like really into the whole rock climbing thing and whatever, and he like hung from like the little, like let's say the molding of that door, the very top of it, like he could just hang with the tips of his fingers. And I tried to do that. I was like, how is that even possible?
Right.
I was like, how's that? It feels like my fingers are gonna fall off.
Little
How
fucking
do you
goat
do
people.
this? It's crazy.
Yeah, the rings that are down here. They got you repurposed because the table doesn't have enough face for the mic stands to grab onto. So that's what they're for now. But that was incredible. I wanted that. What else we have a scene where he grabs a guy by the dick. We needed the X-ray shot, Sonny Chiba Street Fighter style, of him just fucking exploding.
Can't wait till we get to that part too, because that was insane. That was badass as fuck.
You know what? That was grade A. That was the best scene of this movie. Easily. That was creative. That was probably the scene Stallone wrote.
I wanted better one-liners. The one-liners were pretty weak.
They were rough.
Put hands on in the passenger seats. It's fucking it was rough. Yeah. So I wanted more of those features, strength features. I want. You know what?
Especially in the beginning, because you're learning about the character, so you got to know how strong his hands are.
They make his hands look weak when he loses the grip of the woman. I'm sorry, everybody knows that scene.
Well, in all fairness, she was wearing a glove, so the glove slipped off of her, her hand. So
but he had it by like the forearm before. So I don't know. We can.
But
let
I mean,
it pass.
she was probably sweating a little
bit.
He
had just spent an hour climbing a mountain. So he's a little.
We don't know how long it took him to climb that mountain.
Yeah,
he could have been up there all morning. But what was it? Oh, we're up in the fucking mountains. Do you know how hard it is to do any activity up in the mountains unless your lungs are trained, your breathing technique is correct? Did we see that play into the part?
No. Did that girl even do any training before this? It seems like...
Which one? Sarah was her name?
Yeah.
The girl who died.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it seems like Hal, right? The Booker's character. It seemed like he just wanted to, like, bring her up there to impress her or do his foreplay thing. Like, wow. Life's just best when you escape death and all that kind of thing. But maybe they banged on top of the mountain. We don't know that.
That was Murray's theory. See, you guys are right there. You guys are there.
I mean, I've never done that. That'd be pretty sweet, actually, I think.
Yeah, it would be pretty fucking cool.
But yeah, shit.
Oh yeah, but no, they say it. Jesse's the one who always throws out exposition, which is the only role for women in this movie.
Right.
Because
in good action movies,
this doesn't pass what they call the bechamel test. We don't have two women characters that talk to each other at all. We have three.
We have two, and one dies almost immediately.
As we know from Always Sunny, women just slow action movies down.
Right.
That's it.
Literally, Jesse's role in this movie is
to leave.
To say,
leave. Go that way.
Go to the cave. Go over here.
I'm not leaving you. Get out of here.
He needed an excuse to save a woman to relive that moment and champion it this time. He had to defeat his fear of.
So basically, what you're saying is this movie could have used a training montage to show like the training you need to be the ultimate cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I agree. A montage would have been nice, and I mean, dude, it's 1993. What would we have used for? Who would have sang the montage song?
Well, if we're in a just world, it would be Frank Stallone.
I was just gonna say Frank Stallone.
That's what this movie was missing.
Yeah,
sweet, because Stallone's the brains, but Frank's the heart.
You know, now that I feel like you were about to say Svitsin, and we could have used the Svitsin scene in this movie because this is when our action stars were trying to get more romantic. It wasn't.
I thought it was less. I thought nobody fucked in the 90s.
Yeah, you might be right. I can't remember.
There was no sex in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a little bit in Total Recall. It was all about it. It was like, what kind of woman you want? He's like, sleazy.
Oh, yeah.
And there were the 3 tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we have that cave scene where they're got the fire going with the money.
They needed to get naked to warm each other up. That would perfect for that.
Yeah.
And then,
100%. Yeah.
Marriage rekindles right there.
Are they married?
Is that a carabiner in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
A what?
Carabiner. That's that like kind of oval thing. You guys don't know about carabiners?
No,
I
don't
sent
know.
you guys this movie, and I
canteen.
said, carabiner up, boys. Instead of buckle up, boys. Carabiner is that clip that people used to always keep their keys on.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Those were intended for mountain climbing, rock climbing, and all that shit. And that's why when you
sometimes those are very faulty, though.
Yes, that's why. That's why when it was fashionable, when you look at it, imprinted on it was, don't use this for rock climbing, because they gave us cheap versions. But that carabiners, that's what that is.
Okay, well, we learned a new thing today.
I'm glad you guys learned something new.
Those are sweet, though. I like those.
But that's about all. That's about all I had for the top half here. We had to talk about Bechamel. We had to talk about the survivalism. I needed an endurance tester in this movie. That could have been through a training montage. We could have seen some of the fucking Europeans up there, sucking wind or whatever.
We could have seen him doing like ice diving, like he's holding his breath underwater. So that would be a nice foreshadowing.
We needed something like that because, of course, that would have helped us understand a scene later in the movie. Which, as we talked about in Fire Down Below, that was the big climax of that movie, too. So we get another parallel between the two.
That's why the 90s was the death of the montage. That's why we got 2.5 hour movies.
Right.
At least 85, this would have been a nice, tight 90-minute movie.
Dude, that's what I thought, too. Like, Rachel last night, she's like, well, how long's the movie? I was like, probably like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I hit play. I went, shit!
Yeah. That's
like, what are you doing?
Thankfully, 10 of it was credits.
Thankfully,
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't that bad, but it was still like, hey, what the?
Yeah. Well, I will say this movie does move quick. It just keeps moving.
Oh, yeah.
It's
action-packed.
There is a lot of lingering scenes of just like, we're arming the bomb, bring in the helicopter, and we just watch a helicopter fly around for a while. So we could have 80s this up and cut some scenes, replace it with a montage. Yeah. We could have
give it 2% body fat.
We could have just gotten rid of I call them the Brody's buddies or whatever in the notes.
They serve no purpose.
They served no purpose. The just radical
kids. Yeah. You had to know it was the 90s. And they're like, we need youths of the time.
We needed to know that
they said stuff like
base jumping was extreme. We needed to know that.
We like it extreme.
Right.
3 X's.
I got to really ask you guys when we get to it. Cheesehead?
Yeah.
Cheesehead.
I had that in my note as well. Okay. I was like, they're in Colorado. Like, they're not in Wisconsin. Like, all right, I guess where the cheeseheads are, maybe.
I totally saw this as the Point Break. We just want to have characters because they seem like Brody's guys from Point Break.
Yeah.
Just replaced here. Are they offspring of some of those dudes or something?
Probably, because they got around. They moved around.
Exactly, and they did everything extreme.
When surfing season is like done, but the Bodie crew moves to Denver.
And Brody
smokes weed and fucks.
Brody was really big into skydiving. What's even more dangerous than skydiving? Fucking jumping off cliff sides. Base jumping. Thank you. So,
and you would think Stallone would have done that. We'd see a base jumping scene.
Yeah.
Bro, here's my chute. And then he gets shot.
I just love how many rickety bridges there are in this movie, too.
Are those a thing? Is that in real life?
Well, this was filmed in Italy. This wasn't filmed in the Rockies.
Okay.
It was filmed in the Dolomite Mountains.
Dolomites, okay. Yeah. Nice. I was gonna say I've been in every Rocky Mountain at this point. I took one trip over there. I did every mountain, so I never have to go back there.
Peak.
I climbed every peak. It's true, and So many rickety bridges. I don't remember where else that was going, but
It was just like Temple of Doom style,
very
though.
Temple
I was like, I've never seen one of these in real life, but any other medium I've watched,
I would never get on one.
from cartoons to movies, they're everywhere. And
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. I'd be like, crossing this?
really, like that is. I don't know how they would sue or who they would sue, but they would sue the fuck out of somebody
I
if
mean,
those
it's
rickety
been
bridges
there
existed.
since ancient civilizations, basically.
Yeah. Since Indiana Jones's time.
Somehow weathered.
It's
All right,
amazing.
we're ready to jump into this movie.
Clearly, oh man.
All right, people, this is the movie this ain't the movie you wanted, but this is the movie you deserve. Here's a trailer for Cliffhanger.
Please, I don't want to die.
You're not gonna die!
Don't let me fall.
Matheson has been transferred from the Denver office to Frisco, and as a professional courtesy between offices, I was asked if he could hitch a ride.
Got plenty of room. Be glad to accommodate you.
We just got an emergency call at 5 climbers just straight off Combe left.
I haven't climbed in months. You just lose the feel.
Maybe you mean the nerve.
Where's the helicopter?
What the hell's going on?
What are your names?
Tucker and Walker.
Well, Tucker and Walker, we're missing 3 bags.
What's in them?
None of your fucking business! Fudge!
Where is the money?
Welcome back. Fantastic trailer. We've had a lot of duds for trailers recently.
Yeah,
Kinjite was a great trailer.
Yeah.
But everything else we've done
canon.
has been very under the radar. So we've had either fan-made trailers that sucked or whatever. Joe, do you need some water or something? Oh, you got another drink here.
No, I'm good. I was just, you probably didn't want to hear me smacking gum on the podcast, so I spit that out like a fool.
That's a good
Very
point.
considerate.
All right, so we're opening up. We're on a cliffside, Murray. It's
Right on a
Cliffhanger.
cliffside, yeah. And we see our hero, Gabe Walker, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Shot upside down, hanging from, I don't know how to do the...
It doesn't seem like a very natural pose. He's hanging by one hand, and he's like got his other hand on his hip. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a bodybuilding pose.
Yeah. I believe
while
this
you're
is...
suspended.
I believe if you want to get a very easy idea, I think it's on the cover. I think that's
Yeah.
the image on the cover.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So clearly they thought the world of this shot. And it's a cool shot.
I thought he was going to be like this scantily clad throughout the whole film and was kind of disappointed he wasn't. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Covering his body up the whole movie. I thought this was what we got.
Especially when you're fucking doing this kind of activity, every fucking ounce of blood is flowing to every muscle. So he's flexing hard throughout this whole thing. And it makes sense. It takes a lot of strength and agility to get through this.
It's amazing how he can grip, considering how oiled up he is.
Pec jelly is both a lubricant and an adhesive.
Yeah,
adherent. Yeah, it's incredible.
So he is doing a rescue mission with Buddy Hal. This is probably a ruse they've used many a time with a new young lady. Oh, my knee gave out. I can't get off the mountain. I guess we got to fuck on the mountain.
Again, we're going back to the whole thruple thing. Why is he climbing up there? To meet with them.
Right.
Danger.
So what probably happened was, because Jesse and Frank are the helicopter pilots, they probably heard the call, and he's like, fuck, because he was ready to do like a threesome on top of the tower.
I think you're onto it there. And I like that you saw they had the blanket spread out, like the picnic blanket. The wine fell over, and they lost that. So you can't have a thruple. You can't have a threesome without wine.
Right. That's the lube.
That's the... It's some kind of lube.
Just pouring it all over each other.
So he, because here's the thing. they've got a chopper. Why is it important outside of having this? Because we get the one scene where you get to see the body of Stallone.
Yeah, we needed. I think it's just so Jesse, who actually is Stallone's wife in this movie.
Well, girlfriend. I don't know if they're wives.
See, yeah, I didn't catch that. I didn't see.
He's wearing a wedding ring.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I think that's what I thought. You see, I didn't do the Laserdisc version of this. I'm sorry, everybody. I know.
Well,
usually.
if you enhance, it's a friendship ring.
It's a friendship.
Yeah,
it says
it's a promise ring.
BFFs. Well, he can't be locked down. Remember, he's into these throuple situations.
So he.
Well, I wanted to point out that we needed Jesse up there also to identify. Gabe is his name.
Yeah, Gabe Walker.
Gabe Walker. We needed her to identify
I
him.
love that. Everyone was like, Hal, Gabe. So we're not in the dark. We go, okay, this guy's Hal. This guy's Gabe.
Yeah, our main character's got names throughout it, and that was nice. But she spots him climbing. He's completely inverted, like we were talking about.
They got like a little comlink thing going on.
He's got his little headset on too, so he's just laughing, cracking jokes while he's fucking scaling a mountain upside down.
Yeah, just to show how calm, cool, collected he is.
And Jesse's like, "Oh, I can't see his face, but I recognize that peach."
The 90s was the era of showing Stallone's ass, apparently. He was very proud of it. Like, I mean, he showed it bare in Rocky 5, so it's like...
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's just all about it.
What year was
bringing
Rocky
the babes
5?
to the 1990.
1990, okay. So Jean-Claude is on the scene at this point, showing his ass off
he
everywhere.
felt the heat.
Yeah.
He was just like...
He felt the heat.
So, maybe.
He said, I gotta up the ante.
Yeah, we
There we go.
Well, we know Stallone's very
they
competitive
never saw the
Schwarzenegger.
stallion. Yeah, that's
So
true.
he's like, this is the new breed coming up. Fortunately, he didn't have to worry about Seagal.
You see-
Horrible body. So
As we're realizing, as we're saying this right now, why, and I assume this because I've never fucking watched The Expendable. Well, I watched one and fell asleep during it because I thought it was boring as shit. Why was there never a lineup of their asses? There should have been a Tango and Cash shower scene.
They legit knew that their audience for that was just strictly dudes who drink a lot of beer.
You could have got some ladies in. There's a lineup of asses. Like today, even the Zoomers and Millennials, we would all be there. Like, I want to see this lineup of old man asses. throw in like a lesbian or two just to get that audience.
yeah,
It
one
would be
female
great.
ass in the shower scene.
Get a
because
Scarlett
there's-
Johansson ass in there. Everyone's attracted
It had
to
to
her.
been like Cynthia Rothrock or the Karate Chick. It'd have to be like an 80s action star. And there just weren't many in terms of the female variety.
No, there really weren't. Cynthia, definitely one of them, though. All right.
So
Did I get her name wrong?
No, you got it.
It's
Oh,
Rothrock,
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
So, don't worry, she listens. She's
Okay, all right.
okay with it. So Hal, he's like, all right, we got to be rescued. So the most convoluted. Don't they just have like a little line? They can just like a belt, and they just pull him up by the chopper.
Well,
no, we can't do that.
We have our one line to explain it. Jessica, of course, says it. It's too windy to drop the ladder. There you go. Explanation over.
That's it.
But it's not windy enough for Gabe to climb up the fucking side
Nope.
of the mountain.
And remember, Jessica has tiny hair. Sarah has big 80s hair. She's not wearing a hat.
No,
You know,
get tame then.
Hal is basically naked. Like he's trying to show
Does
off.
it every day,
Yeah. So he injured his
Played by
leg.
Michael Rooker, who's usually known as playing villains. Like you just said, you were expecting him to be the villain. But
Again, that's why
Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's him. So, yeah, he's got his his Vietnam knee injury.
Right. He's been telling her all about it, Sarah, that is.
And so Gabe's got to cock block him a little. 'Cause he's pissed off they're not going to have the throuple.
Right.
So he's just like, oh, you told me to Vietnam? That's your hot tub injury. Apparently, he blew his knee out in a hot tub.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, really? So now she's like,
It's
this
fun.
Hal guy's a loser. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's nothing stressful. Even though they're trapped on here, Gabe is in total control. He's calm, cool, and collected.
Sarah's even having fun with the situation.
Right.
Like, she's probably more upset that the wine fell over. She was into the throuple idea, I think.
Yeah.
So
It'll be her first DP. She was pumped.
she wasn't pumped is the problem.
Well, she was gonna be.
Frank
She was
joined in.
pumped to be pumped.
Frank joined in. She'd be airtight, but so.
And that was very taboo in the 90s. Now, not so much. But
Right.
back then, You did that, girl.
You're blacklisted. She's got to move out of the Rocky Mountains. Her mountain's been rocked already.
So we got to figure out the most convoluted way we can do this. All right. We're going to fly a chopper on a mountain over there, and we're going to have a line, like a tightrope.
Yes.
I'm surprised Gabe didn't walk across it because he's so cool. Like,
agile, yeah.
And then we're going to have you zip line across.
So they use like the harpoon gun to shoot a cable from the helicopter, because it's like mounted to the helicopter, all the way across and into the rock.
Right.
So it's secure now. We're confident in that, I guess.
Yes. And first, Hal goes to because you want to have experts on both sides. So Hal goes first.
Right.
Goes across. No problem. They're enjoying themselves.
We watch him work all the cables and everything. It's like a Penn and Teller trick where you see every little detail. Oh, yeah, it's 2 whole hoops. And then they slap together and pull right apart.
Right. And Sarah's a little nervous. She's never done that. Hey, this is cool, He's just calming her down,
right. Having fun with the hot tub jokes.
Right. It's cracking jokes. Nothing to worry about.
Right. Don't worry. We got other plans to get you in bed and thruple you.
Right. So she goes across, and almost immediately, one of the straps breaks.
Yeah, you forget that. She lays a fat kiss on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then he goes, just looks at Hal like, oh, look what happened.
Right.
Unbelievable. She's ready. She's primed.
Yeah, she might not just be a one and done. She might be like a fucking...
keep her around.
Yeah.
She's a keeper. So I want to point out the company that makes those harnesses wanted everyone to know, like, this just for the purposes of the movie this happened. This would never happen to our product.
Right.
But yeah, because it's like the latch like snaps. Like it's like a metal latch and just snaps with this like 100-pound woman.
It didn't even look it looked like it was like some sort of plastic, almost like
that's what I saw.
Weird, yeah.
Right.
So she's like dangling. Oh, I'll get you! And so he's like pulling himself across, and then of course it snaps, and he grabs her hand.
Yeah, okay. So Hal and Gabe are having this whole debate over what they should do.
Yeah.
Because Hal says, I'll throw a harness. You weigh too much. Pointing out he weighs exactly 265 pounds. Right. Stallone's got the perfect weight.
It's got to be.
Gabe's like, not enough time. We got to do this.
So he springs into action.
Yeah, he's Mr. Hero.
Exactly.
And so, I'm glad you pointed that out because that's going to be some tension later on in the movie.
And that's why I thought he was the heel, because it's just you see the look in Hal's eyes, like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the rest of the movie.
I thought he was a heel because I was like, that is very convenient that the gear that Hal hooked her up into is faulty.
I also thought that might be the thing.
Yeah.
He sabotaged it.
So I thought this was some kind of diversion or something. I should have known better because this is a 1993 movie. It's dumb as fucking rocks, and we are amongst rocks.
Right.
Symbolism.
So she's dangling. He's holding her by the hand.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I don't want to die. She's doing all the shit you would do if you were fucking hanging there.
Right.
And, of course, unfortunately, she's a woman. No upper body strength.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this was before CrossFit and, like, Instagram were around to teach women, hey, it's hot to be jacked. And now, she had no upper body strength. She was doing 7-minute abs. And
that's it.
Like
thigh buster,
aerobics.
What was that
like
thing called?
The thigh master.
Thigh master. There it is.
That's all she had, which was basically like a shake weight for your legs, maybe just bullshit.
By the way, rest in peace, Suzanne Summers, who was the thigh master. She just died recently.
Oh man,
what a queen!
Yeah, this is like Denise Austin or maybe Tybo territory here.
Yeah, it was the dark days of woman fitness.
Sure, true. The dark days.
Women didn't even have asses back then.
I was just gonna say
they didn't know about squatting really.
Yeah, no. So you get the big sound of all the shit ripping and everything, and just tearing apart.
Hold on, give me your hand. He's like holding the hand, and then we just see because she's wearing a glove, the hand slowly slipping out of that glove.
She should have worn sleeveless gloves.
And then, but before we see a stuffed animal like fall
what
out of
the fuck?
I didn't get that. Like
symbolism. It was showing the pure innocence of because she's never had it anal because she was gonna get. Yeah. We know
she's never had anal, much less been had it at the same time as vaginal.
Right. Come on. We know she's down to fuck because she's on the mountain.
Oh my god!
But this is like she was getting her anal cherry popped, and
She's gonna toss the bear. It's like it's over.
Right. So that's just falling down.
Maybe she hides her lube in that teddy bear.
Who knows?
The lube bear.
The lube bear.
So maybe that's why she slipped. Too much lube on the hands. Because she slips right out of her glove, falls to her death.
We have everybody yelling out, "No!" It's all tragic, and then we cut to the U.S. Treasury Department.
8 months later, Denver, Colorado, U.S. Treasury Department. By the way, they only make coins in Denver. They do not make cash, so this scene makes no sense.
No sense. We did our research.
Now, if they had $100 million in dimes, that would have been pretty amazing.
Oh, well, they do point out that they make very specific bills because they weren't hundreds or 50s. They're $1,000 bills.
Yeah, we get a nice exposition dump. We get Paul Winfield, who last time you were on, he's the cop in Terminator.
Talk about typecast.
Oh,
He's just like the lead cop everywhere, police chief. And he's always been pissed, and there's always a scene where they're walking. Right. He's just had enough, and then his underling hands him a freaking manila folder, and then he looks at it, and then he says something smart. Exact same thing in this movie.
He's the angry black captain. I mean, that's what we have in every movie.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, we learned that they're making a money transfer of $100 million in $1,000 bills.
Correct.
Uncirculated bills. That's the only reason by the way, they also haven't made a $1,000 bill in like 50 years, according to IMDb.
Okay.
So none of this tracks. It makes any sense. But
right.
We're going with it.
And we get the explanation. Well, you guys have a very interesting method to use the skies. Like, why don't you use a bus or a train? Those get hijacked all the time. Haven't you ever seen a Western?
Right.
We go to the sky. No one can fucking jack
private jet. Don't got to worry about it. As we're going, we meet a character named Matheson, who's a San Francisco Fed, and he's just along for the ride. He's like, "Hey, can I hitch a ride on this plane?" But we're looking at this guy. We see that '90s party down the middle, floppy hair. Like, I don't trust that fucking.
Oh
guy.
yeah, again, die hard logic seeping into my brain. I'm like, this guy looks a little too fucking shady.
Right. Like, do you mind if I come along? We're like, we know something.
I think he's hiding a European accent.
Yeah. And you remind me of, maybe it was the same actor, that Last Gasp. Remember there was that detective?
Yes, yeah, he kind of did have it. Yeah. He had it a little bit more slicked, and
he's more professional.
Yeah, he is. He's a fucking FBI agent.
And we meet the guy in charge of this operation, Travers, who's the last guy in the world rocking the horseshoe hair fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a dead look now. Yeah. No one's rocking that anymore.
Right.
Do you think that'll get a comeback?
I hope not.
You hope not? You're glad everyone's bald now?
Yeah. Well, it's okay if it's like super short. I can deal with it. But when it's like longish,
it's so weird.
Yeah, this guy's is driving that middle ground too, because it's kind of long where it's poofing a little bit.
Right.
But it is bald as shit up top.
It is
Hogan.
He hasn't. No, because it was almost like Hogan had like little bits of hair.
Yes,
there was like a clear line where it all stopped with this man.
Yeah.
Just completely.
No, I've already committed myself. If I lose the top, I'm going Fraser Crane season 1. That's my look. I'm doing it.
And we've learned through movies, you can never trust a bald man. They're evil. So I'm like, oh, who do I trust? Matheson, Travers, Matheson.
Oh, he looks way too much like a shady cop.
He's got a mustache on top of it.
I was just going to say, he had that perfect mischief mustache. Mustache. That's
authority figure mustache.
Yeah.
So we're like, ooh, I don't know what's going on with this. All right. Now, remember, this is 8 months later. Gabe quit being a rescue ranger. I don't know what the fuck his position was called.
I don't know.
I think they just called him mountain rangers later in the movie. Because at first I thought he was some sort of like strategic EMS guy, emergency service dude. But I guess he was just a mountain ranger. And to do that in the Rockies, you apparently have to be certified cliffhanger and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
But he's haunted, so he gave it up. He moved to Denver, but he's coming back because he's got some unfinished business with Jessie.
Right. Who may have been his wife, may have just been a very close girlfriend. But they were living together in a giant house.
They were living together.
Right.
Living in sin if they weren't married.
And they had a dog,
he just straight up like, I'm gone, and he just left with all of his stuff there. Right. And she didn't go ape shit and burn it.
He was excited for that throuple, dude.
Yeah,
that's true. Damn.
It's really let down. I wonder where he went to. He had to be a place where... Vegas. He went to Vegas for a while. He didn't go to Denver. He went to Vegas.
For 8 months,
Was
though.
he like, he's
Yeah.
a blackjack
You
dealer
can only
now?
do that for 3 days.
You can only do that for 3
Kind
days.
of.
Well, he's got the endurance to do it for 8 months.
Yeah, that's true.
All
That's
that
true.
mountain
And he still
climbing.
stayed shredded the whole time.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
He really did.
they're driving on a 2-lane road. The Brodies show up.
Yes.
Evan and Brett, they had names.
You did give them names. I see
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And they're driving along. Because remember, this is the 90s. This is the most extreme decade we've ever lived in, we've ever
Yeah.
seen. With
This-
3 X's.
This is very legit when you're driving through the Rocky Mountains. There is one road
Yeah.
to get in and out. Like, there is one road, and there is one gas station.
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
They're driving right along. Hey, bro, how you doing? We're going to the tower to base jump. You want to come?
Driving side by side,
Yeah.
50-plus miles an hour.
Not looking ahead. They're
Yep.
looking
Nope.
at each other.
Looking at each other. Conversation casual. Just casual.
And Stallone just loves these youths because he sees them. He's like, "Oh, these guys again!
You
I
skips.
can't believe it."
I felt bad because, like, nowadays we have so much outdoor gear and everything, and it looks normal. It's fine. It's cool. These guys are wear like all kinds of mishmash colors
It's all
Neon,
all
windbreaker
neon,
stuff.
Neon
Yeah.
pink and like
to let you know they're extreme.
yeah,
Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
look like human highlighter.
Yeah, new breed kind of shit.
He's ready to beat the shit out of the wind.
Why, Griff? Because we live through the extreme. They
Yeah.
actually say that.
Point Break.
And he's like, you little scamps go along. I got business with
We're
you.
going out to jump off the tower.
He's like, I can't do that. I got business. So but enjoy yourself. So they just take off.
That's where we get Gabe arriving at Jessica's place.
Yeah.
Jesse's place.
Well, their place. You
Yeah.
learn. First, we think it's just Jesse's place, but no, they shared this place. Huge fucking how much money do they make being rangers? They
I
have this
know.
huge cabin out in the.
This had to be like a comp. Like, yeah, you work here. You're not going to get paid anything, but you get to live in this fucking sweet house. They're in the Rockies.
They have like a very distinct skill set though. Like Stallone clearly is very accomplished cliffhanger,
Yes.
rock climber, whatever.
Is
And
that- is
Jesse?
that-
She flies a helicopter. I mean, they got
Are
some
those
stuff
high-paying
going.
jobs?
I don't know. It sounds sweet.
Is that actually his occupation? Just cliffhanger?
I
Rescues
guess,
people
yeah.
off mountains. Apparently, it happens a lot more than we thought.
I am serious. I think that's a government job. So I think we could go into the tax records and look it up and see if our tax money is going to cliffhangers. So we're gonna have Mattingly. We did cut off a Mattingly finger for the fuck up last
I
week.
wonder how long the training is for that in like a trade school type thing. Cliffhanging.
Cliffhanging.
And then, yeah,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
how
would you-
quickly the
would
job
you-
placement
yeah.
is. I might switch careers right now. 'Cause that's badass.
Like, would you come to the job not knowing anything and they train you? Or, like, they go, you have to be recruited. Like,
Right.
you're a great cliffhanger.
Do they look for a certain body type first? Like what?
Oh God, I gotta
How?
be a shoo-in at this point because I was watching this and the whole time I was like, "Shit, I am bigger now than Stallone was in the '90s. Unbelievable,
Yeah. Okay.
couldn't believe it." I was like, "I can do this job."
You can do this job. I haven't seen you do the claw yet, so I think you might have to work on your hamstring.
I
Get him a
definitely had to
walnut.
work on that.
Get him a
Get-
walnut.
I wish I had walnuts. I got a potato.
I got to work on it. I got to work on
okay.
it. That's why I was asking how long the
He would
training
do a
is,
training
what the school
montage.
looks like.
Right.
Yeah, oh, I demand a training montage.
Only
I'm like, I need people to follow me for months, and then we montage it down to 90 seconds.
we
We get
know,
Frank Stallone to write a song about it.
of course. We're gonna have to do at least a month or two on you, just learning how to adapt to cold weather too, like without a jacket or anything.
Right.
Because
Not even chest hair.
not even chest hair.
I shave it already anyway, like Stallone does.
You're already
You got
a step
it,
ahead.
like,
You just
sometimes
skipped
I'm
2
looking in the
weeks.
mirror and I'm like, man, I'm looking rough. And then when I finally shave it before a match, I'm like, oh, never mind. I looked sweet. It was just
Oh,
his body hair that
shit.
was covering it up. No, I'm telling you, a tan and a shave, new man.
You know what?
Every time.
That's very true. We're all rocking beards here. It's like as soon as you shave your beard, it's like, who the fuck am I?
I haven't seen my face without a beard in
A while.
almost a decade, so I don't.
Oh,
I don't
shit,
even know
okay.
what that child looks like anymore.
One day. I'm excited to see it.
So,
You don't want to see it.
yeah, I smell a beard versus beard match coming up in the future.
Ooh.
Has that ever been done? Have we had hair matches? Have we had beard matches?
I don't think so. I don't
You'd be
think
the
so. That would
first.
be sweet.
I had a dream that there was a match where someone was pinned down and like the manager was shaved, his whole body shaved.
And body.
I was like, I had a horrible time sleeping last night. It's because I was having dreams like this. I was trying to work out the fucking logic of getting a manager down, ripping his clothes off, and shaving his whole body. I have no clue. I'm not here to interpret dreams. We're here to interpret this movie and address it to the audience.
So Gabe is 8 months later still beating himself up about it. Jesse's like, get over it. Somebody died. Whatever.
I know.
She's very Kinjite.
Right,
She's
8 months.
like-
8 months. Move the fuck on. Yeah, your daughter got fingered on the fucking bus by a stranger. Who the fuck cares? She didn't get thrupled on a fucking mountain.
And she's like, when you think about it, is it really Hal's fault for taking her up there in the first place?
I love this.
100%.
She's like, I gotta get this fucking hunk back in my. She was definitely on Rocky Mountain Tinder. I don't know how she got signal out there in the mountains, but she was looking around. She's like, I'm never gonna find a beefcake to fuck me.
Right. Imagine that hand strength, what you could do with those fingers.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Just hooks that spot when he sticks those fingers in there.
I can't
Like
imagine.
picking up a six-pack.
Her nipples have to be so fucking just like dead. Very little feeling
rough.
that she needs all that pressure.
He's like, hey, why don't you just come back to Denver with me? And she's like, no, my life is here, and so is your life.
Right.
Come back to the Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed.
That's going to be our opening song, the Rescue Ranger theme song.
Rescue Ranger.
And she's like, look, I got to go to work. Because
Yeah.
he's like, I guess I'll just get my stuff.
You know, we always shit on movies for not giving us names. The dog needed a name. I could because we see the dog. He pets the dog. Great job.
Cliff.
That would have been perfect.
Of course, the dog's name is Cliff. Oh my God, Cliff! He got a hanger. He's got shit hanging out. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a Stallone joke waiting to happen. That's probably on the editing room
Got a
floor.
little dingleberry there. So now we go to the rescue station where we meet Frank, the dad from the Waltons. For anyone who grew up in the 70s,
Yep.
remember that? Get that.
Again,
And-
looks like the Fire Down Below station. Got the
Yeah.
ping pong table full of the glycerin ping pong balls for some reason.
Yeah.
But Frank's an artist. Is this
Right.
the art scene?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He is an abstract artist because he's working on his latest masterpiece, Banana Eating a Monkey. And he's just like painting on like a window, a pane of glass.
Yeah, he's painting on a piece of glass. So we have a shot where we see it from both sides, from behind and then the other side.
So this is just a scene to build camaraderie because Hal's still working there. He's gotten over it. So it's just Hal, except when Gabe comes into the picture. But Hal, Jesse, and then Frank, they're just buddies enjoying their time.
Right.
Cut to that plane that Mr. Matheson, that guy I didn't trust, is on. And they're just flying, and he notices, he looks out the window, hey, there's a plane right next to us.
Right. We're in the middle of the fucking clouds and everything. I don't know how he was able to see the plane. Did we actually see the plane as
Yes,
the audience?
we did see
Yeah.
the plane.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, hey, guys, we're being tracked. You won't believe this, but you lied to me. Like, this can happen. We're being tracked right now.
And Travers is like, all right, chill out. I'm in control here.
Let me go talk to the pilots. I'll alert them to this situation.
As he does that, Matheson's like, no, we got to do something. We're being followed. So he just pulls out a gun and like grabs, does he grab Travers? He grabs somebody.
Oh, he doesn't grab Travers.
He puts like a gun to somebody's head, doesn't he?
No, I think he gets pulled.
Oh, yes, you're right.
You got it. You got it
Yeah.
backwards there. Because Travers is thinking that he's going to save the day. And, of course, he's
Yeah.
got a
Well,
military.
we're thinking he's involved with the heist.
Right.
He's taking over the plane.
Because Travers is a good guy, clearly.
Exactly.
He's been working for the treasurer for
That's what I
20
thought.
years, as he
That's what
says
we think.
repeatedly.
20 or 2 weeks away from retirement.
Right. And he's not getting a pension.
He's not getting a pension. That's how they fuck you over. So we get the showdown now because we got some tension building. We got Travers telling, what the fuck you talking?
Yeah,
These
we're
are
like-
all my agents.
I know. We're like, all right, problem solved. The movie's over with. We captured the bad guy.
Yeah, I was very confused about this.
And then Travers pulls out a gun and just shoots his own guys and Matheson.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then we cut to the cockpit. Pilot whips out a gun and shoots the co-pilot in the head.
So it's Con Air now.
Right.
Almost.
It's Die Hard on a Con Air.
All we needed some hair.
So we're like, holy shit, our minds have been blown. All this time, this past 10 minutes, we've been thinking Matheson's the villain.
Even though we smelled it from a mile away that Travers is clearly the bad guy.
So Travers now
haircut.
starts communicating with that plane. There's a chick flying at Crystal.
Yeah. So many, what was it? Did they keep saying Roger or something? I thought it was in fucking Clone Wars. They kept, when they're radioing to each other, they always kept doing Tango Tango or something.
We say Roger to let you know I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
So they know.
Yeah.
So he opens up like the tail end of the plane, and he pulls out these suitcases that have all the money. 3 suitcases.
3 suitcases.
Well, they have $33.3 million in all of them. And they got like a cable, and they shoot it to the plane because the plane's now tailing our plane, the U.S. Treasury plane, and it connects with the heist plane.
This was a pretty cool shot.
This scene, they really did it, which they would never do now in a movie. I'll be CGI.
Yeah.
The stuntman get paid $1 million to do it.
Holy crap.
Stallone took it out of his pay. He's like, I gotta have the scene in here.
Whoa!
And the guy's like, I'll do it. Give me $1 million.
Wow.
So they really had a guy zip line down between 2 planes.
That's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
That had to be terrifying. Did he
That
have
probably was the best $1 million anyone ever got.
Yeah.
So, like, I could have
Stallone's
died very
making $20
easily.
million for
Yeah.
it. He just get,
I didn't notice. Did he have like a parachute on him? Or
I'm sure he
anything?
did have a parachute.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell how.
Because I mean, it
bulky
was
he
far
was.
away. You didn't really see it. But
Yeah.
so Travers goes down first, leaving because I guess the pilot is next gonna send the
Right.
cases down.
Pilot and Travers are the 2 remaining guys on the money plane.
Right. So Travers goes down, and then we see our villain Eric Quaalude, played by
God, John Lithgow.
Lithgow. Originally, it was going to be Christopher Walken. I think it would have been better with Christopher Walken.
Joe, better with Christopher Walken.
Definitely, he's way more sinister. But Lithgow's great too. I
You like
mean,
Lithgow in here?
It's weird for me because the first movie I ever saw him in was Harry and the Hendersons. So I just know him as this loving father, and then I see him as this ruthless heel who says all kinds of cool lines in the movie. I'm like, all right,
Okay,
I
you're
can
a
buy
fan
it.
of Lithgow in
I
this
thought it was
movie.
all
He's
right.
stretching himself as an actor. He's got the British accent going on.
I couldn't tell what was happening. It kind of put
He
me in
just
a
had
weird
like
place.
ice cold stare to everything he said. I was like, this guy is pretty intimidating. I can see it.
You know what? I did not give his stare enough credit. He did have a really good, stare down.
And unlike most of his performances, very subdued. He's usually over the top in my mind.
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
And he's just very calm, cool. And he's
The
like,
entire time.
where are the bags? They're coming. Don't worry about it. So he knows there's tension between these two because both of them want to be the alpha.
Right. So we're waiting for the other guy to come down with the money. And then we see Matheson. He's coming back to his feet. He's got the audience cheering him on.
He's a super agent. We were thinking he's a villain. No, he's only put his life on. Well, he's going to die for this.
He got shot up like RoboCop did before he became RoboCop.
Meanwhile, we got to point out also before Travers left, he set a 5-minute timer.
Thank you. Yes. So of course we're working under that crunch. But we got fucking Robo Matheson getting up here with his military
Want some
grade
Oreos?
Uzi. Robo wants his Oreos. Fucking Christ. Have you seen that?
I saw that clip a couple days ago. It killed me.
Oh my
Especially 'cause
God.
He seems so annoyed by the story. He's like, he's got all these stories about Oreos. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I consider him a friend. I have no fucking clue what he's talking about. I never asked for an Oreo. I've never even eaten an Oreo.
You know we're talking about YouTube RoboCop Oreo.
Yeah, RoboDoc Oreo.
So Matheson comes to and just unloads, shoots I guess the cases do get slid down the zip line.
Right, and they are like cradled or wrapped up in the cable.
Yeah.
So
it's like
like
going through the handles.
Yeah,
so
it's
they're
like
sliding out.
Yeah.
Shoots the pilot and starts just unloading on the fucking plane. He starts shooting at it.
Yeah.
So the fuselage gets hit. So there's like gas leaking out.
Oh, not the fuselage.
And then the wire snaps.
Right.
And all the cases go flying down in the Rockies.
Bum, bum, bum. All right, so now we got...
And then the plane blows up. So
Yeah.
Matheson is dead now.
Right.
No Robo Matheson.
All right.
Unless I don't know, they found his torso. Maybe they could have. I don't know. That's a story left for the sequel.
Why did our plane... Our plane with all of our villains in it, why did that have trouble?
Because it got shot.
It's because it got shot,
Matheson
right.
unloaded on it.
Right,
So it's
that's right.
fuel is like spraying out.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, oh shit, we got hit. We got to prepare for a crash landing.
Okay. So they're getting ready. They're all surviving, of course. Well, actually, one guy dies.
I mean, obviously they're in the Rockies. They can't even if the plane wasn't destroyed, they can't land a fucking plane in the Rockies.
Right.
So,
That's
but
true.
they're like, all right, crash landing. They crash. One of the goons gets killed. We don't remember them. They're so bland, these goons.
Yeah, that leaves.
Only one stands out is a black goon because he's black. I was like, I didn't get any of their names.
Kayet, I think, Kennett or something.
I don't know,
was
he
the
gets
black guy.
his moment to shine later.
Oh,
he does.
Yeah, he does.
Messing with Hal. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Played by
use this.
everyone's favorite actor, Leon.
Leon.
Just Leon, according to the
I
credits.
was wondering what that was. It's like, is that a guy in the movie?
Yeah.
Then we have Hair Guy, who had long rock star hair.
We had Soccer Lover.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Demler or Demlin.
Delmar, I think was his name.
Delmar.
I think the night vision guy was Ryan. I think that was his name.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Crystal.
Crystal?
Spelled Kristel. Never seen it spelled that way.
Super white trash spelling.
Yeah, that is a super white trash spell. We'll have to point out that she's got like Charles Bronson relationship going on with Lithgow, where she looks like she's like maybe early 30s, and Lithgow, looks like he's in his early 60s. He's just got a younger but older looking features.
Well, when you're gray and balding, it does make you look older.
Yeah.
So we fucking Quaylen pissed, but still cool.
Yeah.
Like, pissed at Travers. He's like, what the fuck happened to our cases?
And this is where we get the tension between the two building up, where Quaylen throws shame, or some I don't know. He's trying to insult him by using Travers' name, because they were trying to use code names or something.
Yeah. It was like on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
You don't need to know my name.
That's right.
So, I think that was when they were radioing. That's why, because but he's like Travers, and Travers is the complete opposite of Quaylen, yelling all the time,
Constantly.
Don't worry, I got backup. I got this fucking tracker here, and only I can use it because it needs a different code every 15 seconds. You
Right.
know,
So this is his insurance policy.
Right.
This is why he lives through the whole movie, because Quaylen's ready to kill him right now.
right, because he's useless. They don't need him anymore.
50,000 codes, and I'm the only person who can decipher them. Right. So
Crystal radios into the rescue
which
station.
Travers wanted to do.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we're gonna let Crystal do this. She's incredible at improv. She took 2 courses.
I mean, all things considered, she did do a great job. Right. Very believable.
She sounded like very panicked. This is actually the only time we get female to female conversation in this
yes,
movie.
this passes the test then. The Belcher test or whatever.
The bechamel test.
Yeah. And she cuts to Jesse, and she's like, "Please send help. Somebody needs insulin." And like Quaylen's like, "What a good little improv there." She did. Were you in Second City? Groundlings?
Oh man.
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line?
Did you do an episode? Wayne, you know Wayne Brady?
Me and Kylan Mockery, we dated for a while.
So
that guy's name.
Hal gets on. He's like, "Hey man, there's a storm." They're constantly told there's a storm coming in. It never comes in, by the way.
Oh
But
my
it's like,
god, yeah. We see it in one scene that it's raining, and we're gonna see it in a second here that it's weather.
Right. And Hal's like, "Hey, can't take the chopper up, man. Too dangerous. I'll come and get you."
Well, we're gonna have to send up somebody with climbing skills and medical skills. And they are working with a short bench here.
Yes, it was never mind the guy who got over his girlfriend dying and stayed with the crew. Jesse's like, "No, I gotta get Abe. Abe's the ultimate cliffhanger."
Yeah.
So Hal goes on. She's like, "I know Hal can't do it.
Right.
Fucking hot tub knee."
He's got the knee. He's
got the
and
hot
it's always
tub knee.
wrapped up too.
Right. Always. So even over because now he's actually wearing the snow gear when we see him in a minute, and he's still got his knee wrapped up over it. So we're going.
Got the fucking giant Stone Cold Steve Austin
Yeah.
knee
I mean, it's
braces
just a
on.
freaking nightmare, the healthcare situation here. He couldn't get that surgery to replace the ACL.
Yeah,
That's a
see?
long recovery.
God
He's
bless
gotta-
Obamacare. This is pre-Obamacare.
People
That's
are going
right.
to keep getting lost in the mountains. He knows if he's on the shelf, it's all on freaking Gabe, and
Yeah.
Gabe already dropped his dame. So
Were they holding Gabe's place just in case for the past 8 months? They could have filled the position, but they're like, no,
It's
Gabe's
got to
the
be
ultimate cliffhanger.
hard to find people. The training course, like we said,
That's why
takes-
they make $500,000 a year.
You're
right.
That's right. They're
That's
very
it.
specialized. Yeah. You know what? That's taxpayer money spent well. I'm
So
absolutely.
she rushes home. Gabe, you got to do it. I'm a little rusty. Are you rusty or are you scared?
Do you feel anything anymore? My Gabe would get up that mountain.
And he's like,
surprised this was the 90s. I'm surprised she didn't hit him with are you a chicken?
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, that's all it would take.
That would have been like...
We would have got the fucking Tim Allen, huh? After that.
And he just scurries away into his truck and leaves.
You see, Stallone does a good job of like getting hit by a cold hard fact, and you can see it wash over him, and you're like,
he's been told every Rocky movie he can't win.
Yeah.
He's used to that.
Yeah, you know what? This is the Adrian moment. You can't fucking do it, can you, old man?
He's used to the woman he loves not believing in him.
I like that when she said that, he reaches up to his biceps and he grips them, and he's like,
to reassure himself.
I can do it. I'm told to do it.
I'm built for this.
All right, and so now we're just cutting
Back to the FBI. They get the news, but by the way, Paul Winfield's character is named Wright.
Right.
And we learn that it's impossible to get to this plane. So FBI's not going to be able to get the money back.
Yeah, the last scene where we saw the weather, there was rain. There was rain. And then they show the plane for a second, and it's like snowing outside of it. So
do we learn that Matheson was part of this thing where they were tracking, or was it was just circumstance?
This was kind of weird and convoluted. It was annoying because I appreciate that it wasn't 9 minutes long, even though we're about to spend 9 minutes on it. Because this is the FBI showing up to the Treasury place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what they say is, yeah, we noticed that some of your flights that have been, carrying this money, there's been a tracker involved, like a tracker that could only have been there if one of your agents brought it along with them. So they're not implicitly saying that, or rather, they're implying that somebody on the inside of the Treasury is behind this.
Okay.
But they're not saying it right up front.
Okay. And we also get some background on Quaylen. We learn he's a British operative for the MI6.
Oh, okay.
And because he was like in intelligence, he's got all these, he can move $100 million.
Right.
So he can do this because they're like, what are you going to do with like $1,000 bills? How are you going to move that? He can do it.
Only other countries could do this. Maybe
Right.
he's going to take it to Epstein Island.
Maybe.
Good chance.
Hell of a party.
Good chance.
Back on the mountain. Hal is climbing up to meet up with those people, and who's waiting for him? Who got the news an hour after Hal got it? That's how great a cliffhanger Gabe is.
Right.
Gabe's sitting
What took you so long?
right. And he's like, you got a lot of nerve coming here, asshole. You killed my thruple. He didn't care about the girlfriend. He's like, I wanted to experience a thruple.
I don't even remember her name.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Especially with you involved. Bastard.
I couldn't wait to have you in front, me in the back, staring into each other's eyes.
High-fiving each other.
Eiffel Tower, baby.
Eiffel Tower, sharing a
Laughing.
glass of wine while
Flip her over, you're shrimping, I'm laughing about it.
And Gabe blasted.
Have you ever had a shrimp cocktail up on a fucking mountain?
It's the most erotic
Oh, my
experience
God.
with the sun going down. Eating the shrimp.
God, I can't even finish this podcast.
I can't even imagine the Rocky Mountain oysters that'd be happening up there.
Gabe, being pummeled by the truth, has no answer. He's just like, maybe you got to kill me. He's like, you're right. so like Hal grabs Gabe's like hanging him over the ledge.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want you to suffer. I want you to remember that throuple you'll never have.
Your dick's been dry since that day, hasn't it? Hasn't it?
I haven't had an erection since that day.
And that was the moment where it's like, you know what? I think he has suffered. Because he was trying to do this whole thing. You didn't have to go tell her parents that their daughter missed out on the greatest throuple of her life. And he's like, I had to look into her eyes and she died. It's like, yeah, not a wet dick in the audience here. Everybody is just shriveling up.
Not a tri-dick or a tri-eye.
Not even Hiroshi Hata or whatever his name was from Kajente. Not even his fucking seminal fluids were leaking.
There was an inordinate amount of seminal fluids being expelled at this scene. So okay, they start climbing up together.
Okay.
And they meet up with the people. I think they're still trying to play like they're just innocent people in a plane crash.
They play it up for 1 fucking second.
Because they're expecting a chopper. Quaylen's like, where's the chopper at?
No, they knew a guy was coming. They heard over the radio that we're going to send a guy up. We can't send the chopper. So they knew one guy was coming, but then 2 guys are there. They're like, what the fuck is this all about? What does it fucking matter? So Travers is the one who, again, loses his fucking cool. It starts telling it, basically giving it away, putting the bad vibes out there that something's fucking wrong here.
So Crystal pulls a Karen, and she's like, I need my luggage, too. We need to find that.
Yeah.
And they're like...
She's the only one who cares about clothes in this movie. Everybody's fine with just whatever they're wearing.
So Trevor's like, Quaylen, don't say my name. And then everything falls apart right here.
Again, they're doing the whole fucking name game.
Right. This fucking beta's trying to be the alpha and keeps butting heads with the true alpha. Quaylen.
Right. So we're going inside. We're seeing some of the fucking high-tech equipment we're working with here. Long-lost Nintendo Virtual Boy console. And they're basically telling Hal and Gabe, your only existence now is to tell us where this shit is. And we're going to show you this awful 3D graphic, and you're going to identify where this is.
In the entire Rocky Mountains.
Exactly. Exactly. And
area.
there's no scale, there's no references, there's no context. They're just jagged,
3D
models.
Yeah.
The green stuff on like a DOS system.
Yes.
Just looks ridiculous.
It's all like on a grid.
Right.
Yeah.
It's awful, and they look at it, and then they look at each other, Hal and Gabe. They're exchanging the looks. And Gabe, none of this looks familiar. He's so fucking dense to the situation. He doesn't realize their life is in jeopardy. So Hal's the one who realizes it. Because, of course, he's probably done this to people. He's seen the fear. He knows the tense situation.
He's dumped a few bodies in the Rockies.
He is,
no one will ever find him.
It is Rooker, after all.
Yeah, it is Rooker.
There's some sinister going on with Hal.
Yeah.
So, I know. So they're off to, they find the first one almost immediately.
Yeah, Hal's the one who says, I know exactly where all three of those locations are. You can't be a ranger without knowing by any... Someone could draw...
He's the guy who thinks with his head, Gabe thinks with his gut.
That's right. He, to be a ranger, and this is going to be the hardest part for passing the test, I know this for a fact, you have to be able to take any rendering of the Rocky Mountains, the whole fucking territory. Any. So a child could draw a rendering.
Even beyond Colorado, you need the entire
Rockies.
Wow.
Entire Rockies. A child could draw you a little fucking map where their parents are, damaged or whatever. Injured. Damaged. And you have to be able to go rescue them based on that map.
I've had a lot of brain damage. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'm still going to give it a shot.
They're earning their $500,000 a year salary. I mean, they got to memorize the Rockies.
The entire thing, which we know Gabe has crawled over every inch of it. Climbed, crawled, jizzed, fucked, everything. The Rocky Mountains are basically just his DNA at this point.
Thrupled his way all through.
Oh, my God.
All kinds of people that were in Hal's position before he got the job.
That's right.
Next scene, I'm getting some fucking Lord of the Ring vibes. They're on a fucking ledge on the side of a mountain.
Yes, that's right. They're like rounding a corner and everything. It's narrow.
Balrog comes out.
Well, Lord of the Rings
Gabe
copied
says,
this movie.
Shall not pass.
Peter Jackson said, you know what we need? This.
You shall not pass. So they're like,
oh yeah, I want that. The Stallone cut of Lord of the Rings.
Gandalf the Jacked.
He wouldn't be wearing a robe. He'd be wearing a kilt.
No, he'd be wearing a robe, but the sleeves.
His sleeves are cut off, and he just punches the Balrog, and that's fucking it.
KOs it. He Balrogs them.
Oh my God.
So they're like, oh, it's up there. Like you have to climb up to get to it. It's on the top of this ledge.
Right, because they've got a bleep machine, so they're following the bleep machine, and they're like, oh, these bleeps are blooping. It's right above us. So they got to sign one of because they wanted one person to guide them, but now they have two guides.
Right.
So they're like, well, let's just send this idiot up there.
Right.
Gabe.
He's expendable.
Right. Oh boy.
Jesse calls in. It's like, hey, guys, what's going on? They're like, don't worry, it's cool. Because Gale's got a gun to his face and shit. And he's like, we're cool. Don't worry about it. So we're just checking in with Jesse.
Right. So Gabe is being forced up, and they remove his jacket from him. You'll freeze to death. No. Well, we haven't seen those guns in a while, so we need to see it as the audience. We're starving out here.
Why is it let's make it harder for this guy? Take away his ice axe, nothing.
Yes, they take away his ice axe or pickaxe.
His spike boots are the only thing he's allowed to have.
It was like, dude, did they want him to get it or not?
Right.
How about they're not equipped to climb that?
They can see how dangerous Gabe is. Don't give him any weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he even have these weapons on him? Because
he might have had it in his pack. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Because he's also asking for his bolt gun We see this. It's a device that like shoots a little grip hold into the rock for him. So that would be very useful. But hey, we saw this guy hang upside down by just his fucking fingertips. Again, this is a good scene for him to crush a walnut or something.
Yeah,
We need to see that hand strength.
And then like blow.
We're gonna see it though.
Crush it and then blow the debris in Quaylen's face.
Remember, it's been 8 months since that fateful cliffhanging day. So we don't know if he has that strength anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, you lose it. So wherever, maybe he was scaling the Grand Canyon or something. So we see him like a little fucking spider monkey. He just crawls.
Well, no,
right
they
up.
even like insult to injury. They go fetch like he's a dog.
They do say that, and to add on to that, they're like, leash up this little doggy, and they tie a rope around his ankle.
Right, and he climbs up like it's no big thing. Hal, once he gets to the top, he's like, "I got it." And Hal's like, "Fucking take off, bro! Don't worry about me." And he's like, "There's no way I'm gonna leave you. I left Sarah splattered on that fucking thing."
We were gonna thruple her together.
So
you gotta mention that the villains, they discuss every devious plan out loud.
Right.
So their plan was, well, now that he's got it, we have 2 guys. We only need 1. Let's fucking kill him. And so Hal's right there listening. So he's like, hey, we're going to kill you.
So Gabe, apparently these weren't Samsonites because Gabe just gets a rock and just break. You think these would be like...
Wait, he used a rock?
Yes.
Oh,
just grabbed a rock and just pounded on it, busts open.
How did these fucking suitcases survive the fall?
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But he gets it open. He sees all that money.
And clearly this says something to him. Doesn't he stuff the money into a backpack too?
Not this one. He does later.
Okay.
I think this one just gets dumped. I don't remember.
Okay.
But cause what happens is Hal goes, fucking run, bro. And he's like, I'm not going to leave you. And they just go, let's just start shooting at him. I think they first try to pull him down.
Yeah, they tried pulling.
It's lost in what's coming up, isn't it? All the money is?
Yeah.
I think it's
he chucks it.
Okay.
But yeah, they tug on him. Like, what how is he resisting them pulling down on him? Like, what? Is it just hand strength?
Hand strength.
That's it?
Yes.
Fuck, man. He was gripping snow, just mountains of snow with those hands.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
permafrost.
I didn't know that's how that fucking worked.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And so they're like, fuck, we can't pull him down. Just shoot at him. So they just open fire.
They can't see him. They're just shooting up.
Right, which causes an avalanche.
Of course.
So it just falls down, takes out one of the bad guys. Gabe throws the case off the cliff.
Yeah, like into the avalanche.
And they're like, there's no way he could survive that.
Right.
Hand strength or not. So they assume he's dead. So they're like, fuck, on to the next case. This is very video game-esque. We got to find the next case.
Right. And Jesse Jesse radios back over to them to figure out, hey, is everything going okay? And of course, Hal's forced to, yeah, no, it's just a fake radio call.
Yeah, I'll be back. Don't worry.
Just some kids fucking around, not even good kind of fucking around, the bad kind.
I think he tries to give her a clue. Like, he's going to tell her he's at a place that there's nowhere near where he's at to let her know.
She's like, do you want me to come get you? That really sucks. No, I'm just going to camp up here at Bald Mountain Point or something. What was it?
And then before he can get even out, like, Quayle's like, don't you fucking, he's on to him. He knows. Yeah. And he's like, so now Jesse's kind of like her interest is piqued. She's like, that doesn't sound like what Hal would do.
So she's begging Frank to take the chopper up or something? I couldn't quite.
Yeah, well, she's a woman. She can't fly a fucking chopper.
Even though we see her flying the chopper.
No upper body strength.
No upper body.
Well, you know what? It's like when they say like a car like crashes on, falls on a kid, the mom gets super strength.
Yes.
A woman can all of a sudden operate a helicopter if the adrenaline's pumping that much.
Oh, yeah, they did not have the upper body strength until Instagram.
That's what saved us. That's
CrossFit.
the one.
That's it. That's it.
It's the one thing social media gave to the world was it got women into upper body strength.
Yep.
Okay.
So she's like, please, Frank, can we go? I'll buy one of your paintings. And he's like, all right, I'm holding you to that.
Again, these people, we've already said it, they make $500,000 a year. And it's just for the credibility of saying I sold a painting, right?
Yeah.
There's no other
satisfaction.
Yeah. He's probably 2 weeks from retirement. He's going to have a full-on pension. The only thing they don't have is health care.
He looked like he was 20 years past retirement. He's an old motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, so basically, Hal, he's like, there's no way Gabe's dead.
Right.
So he decides he's going to stall him. They're going to go the long way.
Right, because he's like, well, here's where we have to go, but the problem is you got to be an extreme climber. I'm talking a climber. And again, we could have seen Hal's hand strength, and he could have got the walnut and done the walnut
He can
test.
only do peanuts.
Only peanuts?
That's why there's tension between them.
But you could have passed the peanut and be like, can you guys crush that? Do you have the lung capacity to do this kind of fucking journey?
He even says only 12 guys are extreme with 3 X's enough to do this. And you're just not it.
Yeah.
So we got to go the long way.
You guys might be wearing some 3X shirts, but you're not fucking triple extreme enough to climb that motherfucker right there.
So Gabe, meanwhile, he's got to get some gear. He's been stripped. He's just got a T-shirt on. And he's sweating like a motherfucker, even though it's like 10 below.
Right.
And so he finds what was the Douglas house? What was it? Was this like a museum to rock climbing? Because they had like shit like in the glass cases and stuff. What was this? Was this like a tourism thing? They're up in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
Buy some souvenirs.
I just love it because as we're going to explore these mountains, they have tourist attractions everywhere that were built 80 years ago.
Right.
Like during the mining days, because it's all wood. There's just it's awful.
And he gets there, and lo and behold, Jesse's there waiting for him.
Yeah. How did Jesse get here? Apparently, Frank did.
This is that Rocky IV moment. Like when, remember, like Adrian was being a bitch, sent him away. He did a training montage, and then he came back to the cabin, and there was Adrian there, like, I'm going to support you. Then it was time for Hearts on Fire. This was exactly that. It's a Hearts on Fire moment.
Oh, okay. There was a fireplace that was unlit, and then when they show up and embrace a little bit, she's got to warm them up. That fireplace just started up. Yeah. So that's smart.
Well, first thing he does is he like busts out one of the museum things, pulls out Jason Voorhees' mom's sweater, puts it on himself, warms himself up, and he's like, "We gotta get that next case," because he knows exactly what. Of course, he memorized the Rockies too. So he's just like, he's called Rocky for a reason,
right? Does he get like a rope out of here too?
Yes, he gets them because they have to use this ancient coal miner or gold mine, technology,
right?
So because why? Because it's pure, Griff. Because it's old.
It's old, right?
So he grabs an old rope and some shit, and they're ready to go.
So we got night rolling in here.
Big storm coming.
Big storm. Again, where's the storm? Shouldn't it have already been storming? This whole movie was prefaced that
we needed a storm scene where they had to. This would have been perfect place to put the Swedes in scale scene in, where they had to like strip naked and him and Jesse and hold each other to get that body heat going. Like they find like a cave.
Well, we talked about there is a cave scene.
Yeah.
We did this in the opener.
Yeah,
but we needed some feats, and I'm not feeling him emotionally. I get that he's into Thruples, and that would have been a cool scene.
It was inconsiderate as hell of Jesse not to just like jack that hog anyway when she saw him. Like she's had 8 months. She has needs as well.
Yes.
And she's got to warm that man up. She couldn't just a little bit of body on body heat. That's bullshit.
You think the first
you don't want to finish because you want to save.
Yeah,
all that
you gotta edge it. You gotta like keep the test high, and that's the only way to do it. If you bust, you're done.
Like
is edging the ultimate way to raise the body heat?
Absolutely. As soon as you bust, you're just gonna be a little bit weaker.
You're drained.
That's it. That's
no
it.
legs.
Yeah.
You need legs for Cliffhanger.
Absolutely.
Oh my god,
100%.
He needs legs big time throughout all this fucking movie. To go over those rickety bridges, you need all your leg strength.
Right. So night falls.
Oh, Gabe reaches the next payload. He's stealing all the money, and there's the tracker in there.
Yeah, he leaves it in a snowman, he's a little whimsical.
Yeah, he's got to have his fun. Again, playing up to the Die Hard bit. Ho,
Right.
ho, ho.
Yep.
He leaves a little note on one of the fucking $1,000 bills.
Now Hal and the gang, they show up, they find it. Fucking Travers is furious because his whole thing is I'm the tracker guy.
Yeah.
So he's looking like a bitch.
Right.
So he puts a gun to Hal's head. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then Point's like, we need him still. Don't worry.
Right. The constant thing when we go back to this group is this guy's clearly not guiding us correctly.
Right.
And so that's the tension. And Travers is always flying off the handle, be like, let's kill him now. He's clearly fucking with us.
Right. I got my fucking Virtual Boy. I can find it.
I'm going to play some Wario after.
So one of the goons, I think his name was Ryan. I'm going to call him Ryan.
Call him Ryan.
He pulls out the night vision goggles, predator vision going on now.
Because they realize, like, he couldn't be that far. Like, we can't be that far behind. And they got the snow tracks there to prove it. There's some Sly Stallone droppings, and they're still warm. So, clearly.
Gabe's like, one of many times, Jesse, get out of here. I'm going to handle it, but hand me a flare.
Go to the cave. I'll meet you there in a little while.
So Gabe lures the night vision goon.
He's just, like, hiding under a rock, and he's just trying to lure this goon in. And then he hits him with the flare. Like,
Right.
you got night vision on. Suddenly there's a blinding light in front of your face. But that only gives him the edge to tackle the guy. Yeah. And then, I mean, this is a pretty cool scene, right? He fucking sleds down on this guy.
And he's just grinding the guy's face on the crusty ice and snow and shit. The guy's face is all cut up and shit, looking like Ricky Morton. And
he's selling like Ricky Morton.
And of course, remember, Ryan doesn't know fuck all about the Rockies. Gabe's got it memorized. He's like, there's a ledge coming up right at the end of this.
Again, you have to do this. You have to know this. And apparently some of that old prospector gear had a pickaxe in it.
Right,
because he's got his pickaxe again. He realizes, oh my God, I've been sledding for 45 seconds just now. This is a 50-second cliff. I know that for a fact. So he's like, oh shit, I got to get the pickaxe out.
14 Mississippi, boo! And then he hits the fucking axe. Ryan goes flying. Splat. And then we get that nice scene where we see the goons following, and it's like backlit and everything. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Like,
right.
It's the middle of the night, but it was a nice scene.
And Michael Rooker, wait, what's his name? Michael Rooker?
Rooker.
He does get one great line because he got to watch his death. Even though it's nighttime and we can't see anything.
No night vision goggles.
Hell can see at night. Do you want to do the line, Joe?
Gravity's a bitch.
Gravity's a bitch.
And so's your mom. No, I didn't even do that. So the goons find the Douglas house, that museum / way station, whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And there was also, it must be some kind of way station where they can like chill out if there's a storm while they're up there, because there's power bars in there. They're all bust out the power bars.
You're right. There was power bars up in there.
While that's going on, we see Gabe and Jesse like in a cave, and they're burning the fucking money from the second payload to stay warm.
Right. We talk about this in the opening scene. This is the spot for a nice fireplace, get naked, warm each other up. George R. Martin taught us that this is how you keep warm.
It points out that because he makes $500,000 a year, money means nothing to him. He's just throwing $1,000 bills.
Right.
Even there's even a moment where Quaylen's like, "There's no fucking way he would not want to take that money."
Right.
And he's just like, "I don't care."
$500,000 a year. This means nothing.
One of the highest paying government jobs in the world right now.
He gets paid more than the president.
He gets paid more than the president.
So
right?
come on, this is intense situations. We need some comic relief scene.
And we haven't talked to the Brody boys in a while. What are the Brody boys up to?
Well, they're waiting out that storm, in their tent.
And it's blowing all over. That storm is breezy at least.
Right.
And so they're not having a good time. They're feeling a little nervous up here.
Bro, you see the latest episode of Beavis and Butthead? It was so sweet.
You know what's better than Beavis and Butthead? The Weather Channel.
And righteous air hockey.
Righteous air hockey.
This is what?
So we got all our players. We got the bad guys in the Douglas house. We got Gabe and Jesse
go on
in the
with this
cave.
conversation. Because
was there more to it?
Yes, because this is the infamous cheesehead scene.
Oh, yes.
So they're eating something, and he's like, "What would you rather be right now? Play your righteous air hockey, or would you like to be up on the mountain getting some righteous air?" Cheesehead. And then he passes him a dish, and the guy just says back to him, "Cheesehead? What is this? Can anybody translate this?
No, I
Cheesehead? Is he from Wisconsin?
Maybe he's ribbing him about being from Wisconsin.
Yeah. I don't fucking get it.
I don't know. Maybe he's a Brett Favre fan. I don't know.
The Rip? Was that his nickname?
Right. Next day, Hal and the goons just stumble upon the Brodies, and Hal's like, "Run!"
Right, because they're shouting out, "Hey man, the weather's getting a little too scary for us up here, so we're taking one last righteous air fall before we go play some air hockey, Cheesehead. You coming with us, or are you fucking daycaring over there? because they can see Hal's got all the fucking people. So Hal shouts out for them to run.
Right. So they open fire. Brett unfortunately gets blasted
immediately.
Robocopped.
He got Robocop too.
Who was the more 90s of the two kids? He had the blonde hair and
he was
total
the Spicoli
surfer kind of look going on.
Oh yeah.
So Evan happens to make it to the ledge where he does base jump, and he just takes off. Righteous Emperor!
I'll come back for you, Cheesehead. So Gabe, of course, he's outside his cave as well, and he's watching through the binoculars or something. Or maybe he just put his hands up to his eyes, but he sees the parachute too. That's not gonna be a good landing there.
I gotta point this out because it just came to me right now. It was an IMDb, so take it with a grain of salt.
Please.
Originally, the opening scene was supposed to be Gabe rescuing a bald eagle. Like
what? That would have been so sweet. I'm pissed we didn't get that.
But Rennie Harlan, the director who did Die Hard 2, by the way, directed it, was like, he'd heard stories about how Stallone would take over like pictures.
Yes.
So he's like, I gotta do an alpha move. I'm gonna suggest this scene instead, and Stallone went with it. And then they had mutual respect from there on out.
Interesting.
Nice.
Well, now that you mentioned Die Hard 2, it is an appropriate time, I think, to mention that supposedly there is going to be a Cliffhanger 2 in the Italian Alps.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not as good as...
For real?
It's on IMDb. There's fucking every...
With Stallone.
Even as recent as like the last 6 months, people have been writing about it. They've already got a director slated.
They were talking about Jason Momoa.
Writers, all that. So he's playing Gabe, but he has a daughter. And
Stallone's playing Gabe still.
Or you know what? It was kind of weird how they...
years old.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how they worded it.
Growthed up.
He's playing the Frank role now.
Ready to do his thing.
So, but maybe he'll put his bald eagle gag in there.
Oh, yes.
But you see, I like that idea. If he like saves an egg or something, because we talked about the hand strength, but then he also has the delicacy. He's got such delicate hands that he can handle an egg. Bald eagles, man. Oh. We didn't believe in extinct animals at that time, or near extinct, but still, he does.
So yeah, he spots Evan. So Trevor's like, game over, man. I didn't sign up for this shit. He's just always just being an asshole.
Right.
And Quaylen's like, let me remind you.
He had so much rage. I honestly, he had shades of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I almost feel like Austin copied some of this for the ways he'd fly off the handle sometimes. Especially when he was like the heel in 2001. He'd do this thing where he'd get in people's faces and talk like really fast. Like, what do you think you're doing? Like it was very much like Travers here.
Do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin would have happened if he had kept the horseshoe hair and
Absolutely
mustache?
not. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
Looking like Howard Finkel, but with juice.
He's like, this guy was pretty good heel, but I think I could do the same thing if I cut my hair, shave it all off.
Hogan is the only person can get away with having the fucking bald
because
head.
It was like silken,
and
blonde
silk.
Oh man,
it's just the way it hung off his head.
And the fact that his skin looks like it looked like his muscles are about to shoot out of his body. So tight, like a Kogel hot dog.
All right, this is a scene where we get the rope bridge, the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom rope bridge.
I got rope bridges everywhere up here.
Yeah. And our bad guys are at the rope bridge. Gabe notices a little, like, there's like a cleft in the rocks. Like, we got to get there to get ahead of them.
Right.
Because he knows all the shortcuts.
Again, they have to. The 2-month training course, or however long it is, they force you to learn this shit.
So they go into a cave. It's like a chimney. They got to climb up it.
Right.
And of course, he's dragging her. Like, he's climbing, and then he's got to pull her up.
Yeah, Jesse's role at this point is just to be an anchor on him. It's just to weigh him down. But their love, like, he's trying to rekindle it, like that fire they started with the money. Where he's trying to show, like, I can still do this. I got this in me.
Climb up to the top, and then this is also kind of an Indiana Jones type, Temple of Doom type scene. Except for instead of bugs, we get a cave full of bats.
And what happens? Tells Jesse, hey, I need you to be calm. There's bats.
Because his hand goes in a pile of bad shit. He's like, guano.
Yeah.
Jesse, of course, is hysterical.
Of course, like a
anyone
woman would
in
be.
this situation.
Right. Can't keep her calm.
Even though bats would just go around you, they wouldn't attack you.
No. Why? Oh, my God. This is such a trope. In my childhood, if I saw this, I'd be like, fuck yeah, that's terrifying. Bats are terrifying. But no, it's just like bats are fucking cool as shit. Fuck off. Jesse.
And then right then he's like,
doesn't that
criminals
alert?
are a cowardly, superstitious lot. And he's like, Batman. And that was the birth of Batman, Griff.
Oh, interesting.
You ever know, because Batman can climb so much? Because it's...
Yeah.
Never thought about it like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's shrieking, and then,
I think
back.
that alerts Travers and Quaylen
they
and all
hear it,
them.
Yeah, because they're just below them.
Yeah, and so they send Kinnett, or the black guy, over. Kinnett, okay. They send Kinnett over because he hears them. He's like, oh, they're going to pop up over here. So he's standing
before that,
by where
Frank
they're going to surface.
Decides to go out. He's like, the PayPal transfer didn't go through for my painting. But that bitch fucking screwed me. So he goes out, and he finds fucking Evan hanging because his parachute got caught in a tree. So he's hanging there.
Right.
And wolves are like nipping, like chewing his toes off.
Yeah, nipping at
and
his
he's
heels.
like, shoo, wolves.
Bro, this is not cool. Cheeseheads.
And I think they were even huskies, too. I don't think they were even fucking
No,
wolves. And so, okay, so now that's the last we ever see of Evan because, like, Frank cuts him down.
Right. FBI, they're also out circling the area, and they've located the downed plane.
Right.
So they're like, oh, shit, we must be close.
Right. Now Gabe and Jesse, they climb back down to the bottom of the cave.
Yeah.
And this is where Kinnett is waiting for them.
Well, they like punctured through the ceiling of the cave somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know when that happens, but yeah, they do.
Yeah, because it's right here, because they're playing like whack-a-mole, and Kinnett's up there waiting
By
for
the
them.
way, that's why it makes no sense, because when he's climbing up that like chimney, there's sunlight coming down.
Yeah.
And then now it's covered with snow.
Now it's covered with snow.
Yeah.
But we get Stallone playing a little coy here. I like this because even though he's got a guy holding a gun, standing over him, he's got the high ground, he's totally fucked. What does Stallone do, Joe? Great. He pulls out, he lures the guy in. He's like, oh, you got me dead right here. He fucking, from under the snow, pulls out his pickaxe and fucking slams it into the guy's leg. It was intense.
But I mean, we didn't cover how much like Kinnett whooped Stallone's ass.
Oh no, the fight's about to happen.
Right.
Like, yeah.
This is just a prelude to the fight.
Because I think what happened was Kinnett was watching the feds. Like, he saw their chopper, and then he heard Gabe, and that's why he was alerted. And he's like, I'm going in there.
So one of the things that they try to do in this movie is set up that we can't use guns out here. The sound, the sound of the gunfire will alert everybody.
It would also cause a lot of avalanches, too.
Apparently. Every time they shoot a gun, it causes an avalanche, but except when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're like, we can't be shooting our guns, and I think that's why Kinnett doesn't shoot immediately. It's like, I don't want to cause another avalanche. So instead...
Well, no, because the Fed chopper is flying around, so Quaylen's like, don't make any fucking noise.
That's right. Yeah, because we got a lot of silent, fights that are about to happen here.
Yeah.
Anyways, fucking claws him with that pickaxe into like his kneecap. So Kinnett should not be able to fucking move.
No, I thought he was done after that. I was like, he's going to lose that leg.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
has to.
I was shocked by where this goes, though. Because Kinnett just radios in, hey, I got a little fucking, scratch on my knee here. No big deal. Rips out the fucking pickaxe. I'm going to go chase him. He went down into this cave. Just going to go get him. Yeah. Quaylen's like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I think this is to set up the fact that he wants him to Quaylen wants him to set a bomb, and he's just like, he's so pissed off about getting his knee. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy with my bare fucking hands.
So he does set up the bomb.
He does set up the bomb.
Yeah. Was this a time trigger too?
Yes, they're all time triggers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Microwave time.
How it works.
Oh man. Okay, so now we're going down into the cave and we're following Kinnett, and he's just like, I'm gonna fucking get you. Come out and play. And he walks right by, and we see that Jesse
He's got
is
some icicles he's tapping together.
Yeah, ting, ting, ting. We see that Jesse's hiding behind like a wall that is blind. Kinnett can't see around it or whatever. So she actually jumps on him first and like kicks him. And I mean, the fight just goes to hell from there.
Yeah, but this shows the brilliance of Stallone. We always said that about Jean-Claude and the idiocy of Seagal. Stallone sells like a motherfucker in this scene.
And the whole time, I couldn't believe it. I'm in disbelief. I'm like, Stallone and I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. He's really just like a mountain ranger at the end of the day. He's not some badass like Green Beret guy or whatever. He's just a dude.
Right.
Who
Well, he
like
learned
helping people.
He
and
learned this
stuff.
from Rocky. You want to root for the underdog.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
right.
So he's just getting his ass whooped by this alleged karate master of some sort.
Yes.
He's just whooping the shit out of Sly this whole time.
Right.
And while he's doing, he's like, "Where's my money, bitch?"
Yeah, he's trash talking. You know, me and Murray's favorite kind of athlete is the trash talker. Just do your business, hand whatever ball you're playing with back to the official, salute the crowd, kneel for the stand for the national anthem, salute the heroes. But yeah, this fight is going terribly.
Right.
Please.
So Gabe's just stumbling away, and he's like,
Jesse's screaming the whole time.
Right.
It's incredible.
and Kenneth's like, "Look, give me the money, and I promise I won't kill your bitch. I'm killing you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or I'll treat your bitch good."
Hey, the money. I threw it. I burned it. It's all gone.
And that fucking infuriates Kenneth.
All right. I'm done with this. He's got a big old knife. He's got to get up there and just stab the shit out of him. And then he's going to fuck his bitch, too. He said something about.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll kill." He's like, "I'm still gonna kill you, but I'll let your bitch live."
Yeah.
And then Gabe, he's playing possum. He's not so beat up as he thought.
Yeah.
Grabs Kenneth by the dick. Fucking does the press slam.
Gorilla presses him into a giant ice spike.
Stalactite.
Stalactite. 2 weeks in a row.
Right through his freaking body.
Very low too. It was like
Holy
it
crap.
was like right here.
Yeah.
You know, but,
It was not far from the ground. But
And Stallone, that's impressive, too. I mean, of course, we've talked about the hand strength and the expertise that Sly has. But, I mean, in this movie, he was like maybe 190. And he's just gorilla pressing this freaking guy, which was no easy feat.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy didn't even post or anything. It was
No.
all Stallone just grabbing him and thrusting
weight.
him up by his dick.
I mean, he grabbed him by that dick. He's probably stiffened up when he grabbed him by the dick.
He's a black guy, so he plays a big dick. So he got something to work with.
I mean, this is where we were talking about earlier, though. The hand strength.
Right.
The
They should have shown a scene of a hand crushing a walnut. Like this flashes for like 1 second.
I said at the beginning
Yeah.
of the episode, I wanted my Sonny Chiba Street Fighter X-ray moment right here of two balls just exploding. Anything. You could have got Canet still over and had his dick just like down to his knees, just like that stalactite. 4 inches from the ground.
His dick he's saying it was like his dick just flops out of his pants. Touch it, and it's 4 inches from the ground.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah. So while that's going on, Quaylen and Crystal are setting their own bomb over. That's where the hole is. I think they dug the hole. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, Crystal went and put the bomb up there.
Yeah. And so
They run back across the little
across the
wood
bridge.
bridge. Yep.
And Hal grabs a radio because in all the fight, Kenneth's radio had got knocked into this little area, where a crevasse where they couldn't reach it. But Hal grabs like Quaylen or somebody's radio.
Travers,
like,
probably.
Bro, they set a bomb. Get out of there!
You gotta get out.
And he's trying to grab it. He can't grab the radio.
So he's like, okay, well, we got to get out of here. We got to rappel down this fucking cliffside with this old-ass fucking rope. We got to create a knot around our waist. And I noticed that they didn't just use a normal knot. They used the fucking bondage knot. So
And Jessie is just standing there with her arms out. Like she wants to be carried like a baby.
Yes.
And he's like, all right. So he
Yes.
cradles her like a baby, and they leap out.
fucking subs, man. They just stand there and let you do it. Starfish. She's a total starfish.
So remember, this is some very old rope. This isn't modern rope. This is
Right.
1800s rope. Hemp.
Yeah. It looked like they had maybe like 20 feet of rope, but now
like
they
1,000,
had enough for 2 people and 100 feet apiece.
Right. And they're kind of like trying to like swing across the cliff face to get away from this bomb.
Right. And as they're doing that, though, the rope, of course, is rubbing up against the fucking rock. We're watching the little fucking string tatter away.
Frank, meanwhile, he's out there because remember he's older than me. He isn't the Rockies memorized. He was the guy. He was the one who drew the map for the Rockies that these guys memorized.
Right.
And he sees them.
He sees Halen crew, I believe.
Does he? I thought he saw our heroes.
Oh,
Gabe,
maybe he
they're,
did.
They're like on the cliff face, but he can't do anything about it.
He was just there to witness how awesome. Like, he's like, oh, fucking Gabe's back. This is incredible. Look at that ass.
The fucking retribution coming up, too.
Right, yeah.
Rope
okay.
breaks, And then what happens? They just slide down the cliff face and he just grabs onto some rocks or something? I don't remember.
His rope didn't break.
Okay.
Sarah.
Jesse.
Well, you see what I just did there.
Yeah.
Because what they were doing is playing up that moment. He needs to relive the tragedy of his life with the love of his life, apparently, and he fucking saves her. She wasn't wearing gloves, so
that's the ultimate thing, because Jesse's not into fucking three-ways.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
She wasn't some skis just trying to feel two cobs rubbing together. Only thing separating them, a thin layer of tissue. That's it. She was a respectable young woman.
Right.
Oh, man.
Despite the haircut.
So bomb goes off. There's another fucking avalanche. Rocks or shit are falling down, but they somehow survive.
They just survive. Don't worry about it. They ride the avalanche like a wave to safe ground.
Yeah. So now Frank goes up above and he sees a body. It's Crystal splayed out on the ice with a flare, like not a flare, but like a smoke thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I guess I got to save this lady.
I see a woman in need. In Frank's old ways, this is how Frank got laid for years. Right. He considers himself an artist, but this is his artist, his true art.
He gets out with a fedora on. He doffs the fedora. It's like, my lady, do you need help? She turns around. He's got a gun. It's Crystal.
I just thought he was an old school pilot, but he wore that hat just to doff it at the woman in need. Yeah.
So Hal is like, runs in to help, but
these guys were ready to shoot.
Quaylen always makes it known, I only need one of these guys.
Yes.
So he's like, 2 is too much.
2 is too many.
So he just unloads on fucking, or was it Travers? Who shot? Is it Quaylen or Travers?
I couldn't keep track. It's like the cantina
I think it was
scene.
Travers. Travers always wanted to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Quaylen only did it when it was necessary.
Yeah, Quaylen was the cool, calm guy. He probably was thinking of some way he could abuse Frank, use him as leverage, and Trevor's like, no, I'm going to fucking kill this guy.
And Frank's like, 2 weeks away from pension.
Right. And Hal, of course, shouted out to him. But
and runs up, cradles him. Don't you die on me, bro. Don't you die on me. Notices that little pocket knife that Hal always has.
Yeah.
Pockets it, palms it.
Of course.
Puts it in his boot.
We got Crystal getting pissed off at, I believe it was Travers, because her and Quaylen have some kind of thing going on.
No, what it was? It was what's his face?
Oh,
Delmar.
Delmar.
Yeah, because this is
soccer guy, right?
This is how we're going to develop his character. He's an asshole and deserves to die.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what?
He was pissed.
We did, we've talked about a few different movies recently where they got no heat on the bad guy whatsoever. We're like, why are we supposed to hate this guy? Why are we cheering for our hero to beat him? He's done nothing. He just exists. But this was them trying to give him some heat. So it works. Right. And it's cold up there in this mountain.
Yeah, because these henches have no personality at all.
Nothing.
They're just bland.
They're boring as fuck.
So our heroes, Jesse and Gabe, are going to go across that rope bridge to get up to Quaylen, but there's a tripwire there.
Yeah.
And who
trips the bomb? Jesse! Of course she does. She is only there to ruin this fucking mission. She should not be a ranger. And she should work the radios.
What does Gabe do? Half of his lines are, get out of here! Yeah. So she runs away.
Run the other way!
And he does the leaping move you got to do.
Got to do it.
It blows up. He's like hanging from the rope bridge over the left ledge.
I was going to say, we got another Indiana Jones shot where he holds on to the bridge, just slaps against the fucking mountain, but his fucking chiseled body against that chiseled rock, it doesn't matter. He's no match for him.
Back to Quaylen and Travers. They're gonna commandeer the chopper.
They're up to their old pissing match antics again. And Quaylen's like, I'm done with you. You're fucking done. I don't give a shit.
Well, because Crystal says, we got enough fuel to get down. We don't have enough to fucking look around for these cases.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so Travers is like, well, let's get the fuck off this mountain. We're done here. And Quaylen, of course, wants to keep him up there. He wants to find the money.
He's like, there's still $33.3 million waiting for us.
The Virtual Boy still has batteries. We're fucking getting our money.
And he's like, let me remind you, only I can master the Virtual Boy.
Right.
Codes.
So Travers pulls a gun on Quaylen, and it's telling him, we're getting down now. But here's the thing. Travers is not a pilot. We've got one pilot up here as far as we know.
We've established Crystal is a good pilot.
Crystal. She can pilot an airplane, a helicopter, a rescue chopper. What's that?
Any flying apparatus.
Any flying apparatus. Yeah.
So
what is Quaylen going to do?
He's going to stay true to his gimmick here. Cap her. Now there's only one pilot.
That's right.
Me. And we're like, fuck, Lincoln Flame. Okay.
He was really he henches, or not henches, but he really villains it up though, because he takes Crystal and he's like, you know, my dear, you know what they say about love? It's all about sacrifice, and shoots her.
Like repeatedly, not even once.
Yeah. Just staring daggers into fucking Travers' eyes while he did it. Like, yeah, this bitch, I'm 65 and she's 30 and she wanted to suck my dick up here on the mountain.
Can you get an erection on that altitude that high? The oxygen's so thin?
I don't think John Lithgow can get it up. But, yeah.
I don't know. He seemed to be working off her fear, and she liked it a little bit too.
Yeah.
You could tell the way he pulled her in, was behind her, like smelling her and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she was definitely into that.
They've worked out some rape fantasies. Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's sub-dom thing happening there, too. Yeah.
That was definitely... This is all one big play to get to the...
I told you
him off, ultimately. That was it.
Get off the mountain.
That's
get
it.
off. Yeah.
That's it.
I said there was some symbolism underneath the surface here. We're figuring it out.
They're getting off.
We're getting off on it. If you're not getting off, you're fucked, audience.
So while that played out, Gabe's like, Jesse, get out of here. So she's going to go and get help.
At one point, she's just going to get confused. Wait, you just told me to go this way, now you're telling me to go this. She's got to be confused.
He's got the Rockies memorized. So he's like, I know where the last case is. It's right underneath this metal ladder that's just like stuck on the cliff face.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he climbs up there, and sure enough, that's the last case is waiting for him.
Okay.
And then he to remind us, the viewer, there's still tracking devices. He hears the beeping, and then he sees a little skirring going on, a little hole in a snowbank.
Right.
So he's got one last trick up his sleeve. Travers, beep, beep, beep.
He's coming over
beep.
that hill. He's
like, what the fuck? It's moving around. What the fuck's going on? Fuck.
This thing must be fucking buggy. Yeah, you're just yelling fuck word.
And then we see up on a rise, cute little bunny rabbit. I thought there was going to be like a Wolverine or something, and it was going to attack fucking Travers. That'd be pretty sweet.
Right.
But no, it's a little bunny with the tracking device.
Right.
So he opens fire on it.
So, yeah, we get a little joke there. He opens fire on it.
In the original cut, the rabbit gets killed.
Oh, wow.
And then the test audience is like, no, we can't have you killing the rabbit.
Yeah,
so they had to
Wow.
spend $100,000. This is IMDb, by the way, so take it with a grain of salt. $100,000 to recut a scene where we see the rabbit getting away.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Anyways, Hale was left back with Daimler Chrysler, Delmar.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah.
And he just starts beating, because he's like, you know what? You might kill me, but you'll always be an asshole.
Yeah. Great American kick-ass phrase right there.
And he's like, let me show you how much of an asshole I am. I like soccer.
Yeah.
First of all, if he's English, he's not going to say soccer. This is like dumbing it down for the American audience.
Yeah.
And he starts...
It's called football, governor.
And he just starts doing a bunch of soccer references as he's kicking the living shit out of fucking Hal.
Again, this is the guy we just said was getting his heat spot by killing Frank. I mean, was this good? Was he working really well here, Joe?
I think he was. He was really playing to the crowd and hitting these soccer kicks, and you're all... But I also didn't want to cheer Hal at the same time. I'm like, how are you getting your ass beat by this guy? He's a soccer player. You're American.
Knees bummed out.
Yeah, but
got a case of hot tub
gotta
knee.
fight through that.
He didn't get a single power bar when they were eating in Douglas.
He's depleted.
He got the crumbs.
He's depleted.
He just got the crumbs. Yeah. I mean, you got all that happening. He's doing the fuck. He's commentating his kicks like he's watching the
Here's
football.
another wicked googly for you.
Yeah,
and he's setting him up. So
Right
he's
through the sticky wickets.
right on the edge. Hal's right on the edge of the ledge.
Right. And Hale was begging for death. He was like, come on, shoot me. But he was told, Hale was told, Delmer was told by Travers, don't use your gun. Even though Travers is just using his gun.
Yeah, he's like, make it slow.
Make it slow and quiet. And everything goes against the grain here. So, yes, Hale is luring him because that's what all rescue rangers learn how to do.
He palmed that knife of Frank's.
Yes.
So he's got something up his sleeve.
So he's hanging over the cliffside, which this is Cliffhanger. So, of course, there's a lot of hanging off cliffs.
Right.
And this is where they're at their peak. Is that good wordplay?
It's tremendous.
I thought it
Thank
was
you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
He stabs Delmar in the kneecap with the knife.
They always go for the kneecap, too.
Guy bends over. He's got a shotgun strapped across his back, so Hal grabs the shotgun.
Too much right here. Just pulling him
that's
by
what I was thinking. Just pull him off. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you needed.
Instead, he manages to rip him by the shotgun that's over his head, across his chest, rips it over his head. Guy's falling over. He manages to grab the shotgun, put his hand under the trigger, shoot the guy in the gut as he's flipping down.
Because he needed time to scream, "Season's over, asshole!"
That's right. Season's over. See, that's when people greet me with season's greetings or whatever after Christmas. I say, "Season's over, asshole!" And they call me a dick, and I said, "No, I'm just referencing Cliffhanger."
That's it.
So Travers is at his wit's end. He's like, "Where's my fucking money?" So he's like, "Fuck you, Quaylen." He says on open fucking radio signal. He's just like, "This is Travers. This is Jeffrey Travers, 2 months away from retirement.
And I've been working with Eric Quaylen, and he's a piece of shit."
Shut up. Don't use names. Fuck you, Eric Quaylen.
That's right. And we cut up to the helicopter where the FBI...
Wright is like, "Are they fucking..." And then he does a Scooby-Doo thing. He does his whole plot. Like, "I can't believe I fucking did all this shit." And like, Wright's like, "Are you getting this shit?"
If it weren't for these polygamists crawling all over the mountaintops, all these fucking Rocketeers are into fucking each other and various women, various heights.
As he's divulging his entire plan, James Bonding it, telling the entire plan, he notices Gabe in his peripheral vision. He's like, "That's the fucking asshole!" Starts opening fire at Gabe.
We got to have, of course, another shot of Stallone. At this point, can we remember, is Stallone, he's got his jacket and pants on still?
He's got got the Jason Voorhees sweater on.
Oh, he's got the Voorhees
the mom
sweater, you're
sweater,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, mom spaghetti.
Yeah. And he starts running, and then he just leaps off. According to, there's another IMDb fact. It was a ridiculously high ledge he jumped off, and it's actually still in the trailer. And the audiences were laughing how ridiculous it was. They're like, "Let's make it a little, like, not as steep."
Yeah,
so, like,
okay.
He got it because he leaps and then grabs onto a tree and kind of like stop. I don't know how he didn't get killed doing this fucking thing because he's just hitting shit, falling down.
Again, he sells it, though, because he was going down and he's getting beat up by those trees.
Right, and why, Griff? Because we're setting up. You had an issue that when I came over, you had an issue with the ending. Set up, Griff. He's literally fell off a ledge.
Oh, right.
He's
he jumped.
super
He didn't
fucking-
fall.
Well,
he jumped.
He did jump. He was getting shot at.
He was getting shot at. You
And
had to
then
escape
did he
that.
get? He didn't get shot, but something happened where he got like the tree maybe stabbed him, because he was like he feels his side. Like
Yeah,
something's
he's bleeding. It's getting all over that sweater. It's not clotting up very well.
no coagulation. He might be a vampire.
He might be a vampire. That's a good call. All right, so Jessica flagging down Frank's chopper. She's at some, peak. Yeah. She was told, of course, to go there. She would have been able to figure this out herself.
She believes it's Frank's chopper.
Yeah, well, it is Frank's chopper.
Well, yeah, it literally is, but.
And as we're doing the shot where we're seeing the chopper slowly come up into frame, and then it's just fucking John Lithgow.
I had a fucking flashback of Ginty in Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. I almost vomited.
I agree with that. Yeah. This is almost like that fucking Gru meme where I see it on the internet places where or I don't know if his name's Gru or whatever, the fucking evil guy from Despicable Me, where he's holding a gun. And that's the meme. That's what this reminded me of.
Well, and IMDb also pointed out you need 2 hands to fly a fucking helicopter. You can't just take your hand off because you're working like one rotor and one the other one or something.
Oh.
So this is a ridiculous scene to begin with. Yeah, he just pulls a gun out and points it at her.
I know none of us are Jack Battleayer here, but was he using like RoboCop's gun? That gun seemed really big, and it had that weird kind of like triangular rounded butt to it.
It might have been. Well, we alluded that Matheson becomes RoboCop. Maybe the gun falls where his body is.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know if he's strictly dead. He could just be a fucking torso, cryogenically frozen in the ice.
That's it.
Oh, now we're talking.
Anybody writing Cliffhanger 2? This is the story you want.
Matheson returns. He becomes one with the earth. They travel through it.
Becomes a cyborg.
And he's trying
Cliffhanging RoboCop.
Oh my God. Now he could just
Die Hard meets RoboCop.
Die Hard meets RoboCop
on a mountain.
Because all of his fingers can be the little bolt guns. He could just right in there. I love this.
All right.
So
now apparently
Curtis.
there's another little cabin, ice-covered cabin out here.
There's another rope bridge. There's everything.
Well,
happening.
It's not a rope bridge. It's like a dock. It's going across some water.
You're right. It was a dock. Yeah.
And Travers is being lured there by Gabe because he followed. I guess he just skidded down on his butt down that ledge. Like, how did he get down?
Yeah, for real. He just found another little.
Yeah. And he's walking across the dock, and then Gabe just leaps up, very Jason-esque, leaps up, grabs him.
He's taking the sweater off because that would cause too much drag.
Right. Well, he gets soggy, dude. It could be like wool. That would absorb a lot of water.
It would absorb a lot of water.
Pulls him in to the. Well, I think he was just standing underneath. He was on the ice. He was like standing underneath it.
Yeah.
And then he pulls him in, and that's when the ice breaks.
Right.
So Gabe falls in.
Right.
He's like, I'm shredded as fuck. So this is Stallone thinking this. I got to have one more scene where I'm shirtless.
Shirtless, completely.
Shirtless.
You know, this would kill him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know that Joe will have to confirm this for us, but who is that guy in the Witcher TV show?
Oh,
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
He was saying that the way to really look fucking muscular is to not eat and then be really cold, and it's like all your muscles are popping in that case. Could you confirm that?
I mean, that sounds miserable.
It sounds miserable.
Sounds miserable, but I think he's right.
You think
he's
you're right?
Because you're kind of like flexing everything to just like stay warm or try to. And it's,
right.
Yeah.
And you got to super dehydrate yourself too, right? To get the veins popping.
Okay, so that's working here. So clearly Stallone, when he was getting ready to do the shot, he was like, I'm going to be in an ice bath. I'm not going to eat. I'm not drinking anything. I'm going to be fucking ready. I'm going to look the best. He looked like Jaws. I thought like my file was corrupted or something. I was like, is that fucking Jaws? Where's Clint?
And once again, like we alluded to earlier, if we just had a montage of him doing like that, because there's like a sport where guys will go underneath like frozen water and go as deep as they can and then come back up.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
There's actually a movie about that.
I know, like up in Sweden and all those places, like they do the thing where you do the hot tub or the sauna.
Yeah.
You walk out into the ice cold water and then walk back, and your body weight or your body temperature.
People in my family would do that. They wouldn't jump in water; they would jump in the sno. They would be in the sauna, and then they would jump in the snow.
That seems like it'd be terrible for your body, though. Like to just have that crazy fluctuation.
You don't know until you try it. I guess
that's right.
They're probably sure very drunk while they were doing it. At least my family was.
Yeah.
But so because he's underwater for like a minute. Like first of all, the shock of just hitting that water would make you like gasp.
Oh, yeah.
But not him.
And then he's trapped under ice.
Right.
Sorry, Metallica.
Yeah.
That might have been where they got to. Oh, no, that was a few years later.
Metallica inspired this movie, too.
Exactly.
Die Hard, Metallica.
So it looks like
Lord
Travers. It looks like Travers is getting the last laugh here because he's looking down at Gabe trying to punch his way back through
the ice. By the way, looks like it's like literally like
very thin,
eighth of an inch thin. But he's like hitting it.
It's like when you're a kid and you see it puddle up on the sidewalk and you crush it. It's all fun.
But no, this Gabe's just luring him into a false sense of security because he whips out a gun and just boom, 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 shoots him.
Okay.
Was this?
And
this must have been Kinnett's
Travers.
gun, was it? Because I don't remember how he got a gun. This must have been Kinnett's.
It must have been. Yeah, it had to be. All right, so.
But now he's spent all his energy. He can't get out. But who's there to the rescue?
Hal. To pull him out from a frozen. He could have left him there for dead.
Yeah,
you gave me blue
deserved
balls.
it.
You deserve to die of blue balls. That is actually what would happen. You wouldn't suffocate first. You would die of blue balls.
Balls would just explode.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I watched a couple of the Faces of Death. Testicles of Death is what they call those videos. And when you're trapped under ice, your testicles explode.
So he pulls him out. All's forgiven, bro. We got hose in the future. Don't worry about it. They call it in. Next scene, Gabe, totally dry, new set of clothes, hair not even wet.
Hair's not even wet. He would have had frostbite. He would have had
They cut out the scene where they stripped naked and hugged each other.
This has to be on the edit room floor.
Yeah.
We needed this. Montage of a bromance. Come on.
That's it.
Like, we already know. We already deciphered this earlier on in the movie. They're a throuple.
Right.
They get girls. They fuck them on mountaintops. They're comfortable with each other. Their sexuality, all of that.
It's like, bro, I got to fuck you in the ass because your core needs to be warmed up.
Jesus Christ. So, very much like our scary...
You just said the first thing to go are the balls,
yes.
dude. And what's
You got to get the semen factory kicked in
inordinate
high
amount
gear.
of semen. Seminal fluid, not semen. Seminal fluid.
So, you got to...
Remember, all the aggression's gone if he does bust. So he's got to... He's got to be edged by hell.
This is how
In
amazing
order to-
hell is. He's willing to go there. He's willing to bust the nut to save his friend, even though he might die.
He needs the seminal injection. That's the only thing that can get his
Hot
core.
beef injection.
That'll get the core way back up. He's
Our
gonna be
gay
a
audience
furnace.
is going to go through the roof because of this.
Dude, we have made Cliffhanger a better movie for the modern audience.
Yeah.
We're going to give a couple more lines to the women, but not too many more.
Not too many.
We're going to let Jessie not trip and fall too many times.
We're going to have one scene where she does one chin up.
Yes. And look out, Brokeback. What was that movie called? Brokeback? Look out, Brokeback Mountain. Full penetration. We got it here for you. And we got the science behind why it's going to work.
So he's immediately rejuvenated, gets on there, the radio, calls into Quillen. Hey, game's over.
Meet me at the highest point. Bitker's Ladder. Somehow...
Because he still has the sack of money. Because remember, he when he had found the rabbit hole, he had
Yes.
filled a knapsack full of the money.
Right, of course.
So, because he's like, how about we make a trade? I have your little girl here. And then we see Jesse's like, don't do it, Gabe.
This is the only reason why he would know where Bitker's Ladder even is that she's there to guide him, too.
Yeah. And we saw it earlier because he was climbing that fucking ladder.
That's right.
So, all right, now he's on top of Bitker's ladder.
Right.
He's holding the bag up to show. And he's like, give me the bag. He's like, let her go first.
Lets her go pretty far away.
And they do a little line, like a little drop line.
Yeah, and she's confused as she is.
Yeah.
She's a woman.
And he's like, go away. Okay, symbol. Walks away.
It's Forrest Gump. She's like, what? What do I do? I mean, she does have a helicopter over her head, blades running, but still, Stallone's voice cuts.
Run!
And then she does like this weirdest fucking...
like a 5-year-old running.
Right.
And
this is great.
And he's like, give me the money. And he's like, come a little closer. And he throws the knapsack right in the rotors.
This is what we were building up to. It takes us 5 minutes because he's slowly scooting over the helicopter like it's a fucking crane game. Just like a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more.
It's like landing the plane of Top Gun. It's that delicate.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that delicacy, yeah. So just get in a little bit closer and I'll throw it right in there for you. Gets real close. Tosses it to whoops! Throws it into the propeller.
And while Quaylen is so pissed off about that, he grabs that line that Jesse was dropping and connects it to Bitker's ladder.
Yeah.
So now Quaylen's stuck. He can't get away.
Right.
So somehow Gabe falls off the edge. He's hanging by the ladder. That ladder gets ripped off by the chopper.
Maybe he shot the gun at him or something? I don't remember.
I don't know.
This scene barely...
Who put the ladder there? This is the ladder on the side
That's why
of the
it's called
mountain.
Bitker's ladder.
Bicker went there. I'm glad it wasn't a rope ladder, though, because we've been seeing so many wood.
Well,
and
you needed something that would
Go
attach,
into
a helicopter couldn't get away from.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the since the ladder it gets ripped off, but it's not completely ripped off.
Right.
Something happens to I think the helicopter hits some rocks, some shit. It gets incapacitated. So it crashes. It just like falls down, like it stops working.
Right.
And it's hanging. So now Gabe, when the helicopter hits the cliff face, Gabe gets knocked loose from the ladder and he falls onto the helicopter.
Right. And so we have to try to make this fight somewhat interesting because it is Sly Stallone, 190 pounds.
That at best for this film.
At best. Joe can look at a person and just tell.
He was
the
all
weight.
natch in this movie as well.
Joe used to work at a circus sideshow guessing people's weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guessing people's weight.
Yeah.
Knew everybody's weight. He's the one, if you're ever near an elevator and it's crowded, there's a weight limit on elevators. Joe's the person you want to be with because he can size up everybody in an elevator and tell you they're 18 pounds over. Don't get on that elevator.
Absolutely.
It's going to fall. Then you're going to be in, what was that, Speed, where they save people from an elevator. You don't want to be there.
But we got to remember, Gabe has been through hell.
He has. He just got his ass beat. He's had a fucking rappel all over the place.
Shot at a million times.
Ice bath, jumped off a ledge.
Right. He just had a fucking seminal fluid load just blown into him.
Yeah.
So his legs have to be tired.
Right.
Well, no, he didn't bust though. He's got the strength.
Right.
Gabe still has
he's
the
had two
strength.
loads technically.
He's edged it up. Like,
So his power meter's gone back up.
He saved it all up.
Yeah.
He's at 150 power.
Is that like is like there's a blood transfer? Is there a semen transfer too? Can he absorb
I mean,
Hal's semen as his
I mean,
own?
about that.
We're doing it.
Do we have semen types?
We're doing that
Other semen types.
with gut bacteria too, where we're putting like
Other people's
shit.
Yeah, biomes. In
biomes,
there,
to get the good bacteria
Yeah.
in there. So
Look
clearly
into
this
that.
this has to be a science.
Somebody listening, look into that 'cause we're not. So
Our search bars are dirty enough as it is
Right.
with all the research we have to do. We
Right.
don't need to get
For
into
you
the-
guys.
Yeah,
For
for
you.
guys. We took Manley's computer away. Otherwise, we'd let him do this research.
right. So they're fighting. I mean, Gabe's kicking his ass at the beginning.
Yeah,
You know, but
I hope so.
But Quaylen gets the upper hand, puts him in a chokehold, and Gabe's like, "Fuck this shit! I'm just gonna bite his fucking arm. Like I've had enough."
You think he'd have like a cable or something, or a chain link, or anything to give Lithgow the upper hand? Because he's not going to win a fist-to-fist fight. No.
Right. So I'm sorry, guys. I blanked out. I don't
blanked
remember
out,
what even
too.
happened. Do you remember?
I
what
mean,
happened?
they had a fight and all that, and then eventually he whoops Lithgow's ass. Pretty much, he gets the upper hand. Or I think he was saved.
Somehow
and then the
Quaylen
helicopter
falls into the
Yeah,
helicopter,
he falls into
yeah.
the helicopter.
But before
And
it,
then-
he drops another awful fucking line. Make sure your arms and legs are inside the vehicle. First of all, way too long. At all times. And then he just falls. And that's what really killed Quaylen. That fucking line. He's like, oh, man. Like, then we just see the helicopter fly down, smash on the rocks. Then fucking Wright and the Feds show up. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
Right. They were just like, all right, everything's over. No more money to spend on this movie. Get up. Hale's somehow there, because Hale was like on the other side of the mountain, shooting a shotgun at the helicopter for a while there. Maybe
that's what happened. You're right. Hal shot the helicopter, which caused it to crash.
Okay. He looked like an old prospector, too. Get off my mountain.
Get out my property.
All right.
So then it's like, hey, they get up on the top of the mountain and they're like, Thruple. They fucking fist bump. And then it's like, cut to credits.
That's what happened.
That's all we
Dun,
need.
dun, dun,
Time to finally get
Because
that
he's like, I think Jesse's up for it now.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes.
They're needed.
That was the throuple they always
hey,
wanted.
Hey,
Just
I know.
in time.
I know. We're all excited.
We're almost going to end this.
That's right.
Can you please go away?
They got so many thruples to have. Yeah. He's got his. Oh, my God. What a movie.
All right. Wow. So if it's Thanksgiving, are we thankful for anything? Are you thankful for anything, Joe?
I'm thankful for Cliffhanger. What a film.
All right.
I'm thankful.
You're gonna next time you watch it, you're gonna be seeing it through a whole new lens.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna be looking for those little hints. You know, what is it? The Thruple people have like the logo they put on their vehicle to let
It's
people
usually
know.
like a pineapple, isn't it?
Well, is
Yeah.
that just old people?
No, I think that it's like a swinger thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's different for Thruples. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking
You don't know about
no.
this?
It's
Yeah,
a secret
no.
language.
Yeah, so it's like when you go to the retirement homes and they're all driving around their golf carts because, you know, America, we don't walk.
Boomers.
Boomers.
Nasty
They'll
boomers.
have like a pineapple hanging or something. It's to let them know we're down to fuck. I don't know why a pineapple signifies that. When you think of fucking, I don't think
That's
you'd be
why
thinking
you.
of pineapples.
That's why they do it. It's very undercover.
Very undercover.
Yeah.
It's got to be confusing when you go to like a Jimmy Buffett
I mean, a
concert,
banana. It's a little on the nose, you know.
though. It is, yeah.
All right. I'm thankful that we didn't do Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh, yes.
Are you thankful for
second.
anything this year, Griff?
I got new windows. I'm thankful for that.
I'm thankful for that too, because I don't have to sit in a fucking winter coat while we're recording.
We can't. You are wearing your winter
Well,
coat,
it's
but,
this old tab. It's not. I'll
Yeah.
have it's not hard.
but we can't see our breath while we're
Yeah.
recording.
We don't
right
have
now.
your stove open, heating us.
Yeah, I don't have the stove on at all right now. This is incredible. Joe's got his shirt off.
Right. Well,
Of course.
when did he
Yeah,
not?
we're talking
It's
about
a natural
Cliffhanger.
thing. Yeah, that's true.
You know, what I'm also thankful for that the great Joe Coleman had time to do this.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Stop.
Joe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my
You
God.
know, whenever there's
I
oiled
didn't know I
muscles,
needed this in my life, but
whenever there's
yeah.
oiled muscles, my mind goes to Joe Coleman. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we need to get him on.
We have so many more buff episodes
Yes.
to be talking about.
Can't
So
wait.
it's always good to see you too. So, oh my God.
All right, people, that's your Thanksgiving episode. You're welcome. You don't have to talk to your family for at least 2 hours.
Yeah, just
Or maybe you'll bring the family together. Your mom would be like, I didn't know semen could do that. Yes, Mom.
That will help.
It saves lives.
Look, we all know some of our parents don't understand the gays and all that, but once they hear the health benefits of being gay, they're like, wow.
It's just gay. It's not just about AIDS. It's about health too.
Right.
It's about life. That's
Yeah.
it.
God damn.
Gives
man.
life, extends it.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
All right,
Magic
so
bullet.
if the 5 people that were excited about Taking of Beverly Hills from last week, you're going to get your wish next week. We're going to do the Taking of Beverly Hills.
You did tell me there's a video game for this,
There,
too.
I didn't even know until I was doing my research, because all we do is research.
All we do.
Which is why I was so discombobulated. I want to literally thank Joe for reminding me, because I was like, hey, we're Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the last Thursday of the month, isn't it? And it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's like, a couple days ago, are we still on? I'm like, holy shit! I didn't like, because if you had done that like last night, I'd be like, fuck, no episode this week or whatever, because I wouldn't have been
Man, it
prepared.
shocked me too. Like, Rich was like, yeah, Thanksgiving is next week. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like not the last week or whatever.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
no, it's next
So
Thursday.
we blame the calendar. Don't
Yeah.
blame us.
I think you need some seminal fluid. Like, you had a...
I got too much. I got to get rid of some. But,
What are you building it up for? What are you saving it for?
Get up.
I got nowhere to
Or he's
deposit
just
it.
tested out of his mind. He's just ready to flip tanks.
I'm sending you to the Rocky Mountains to get your rocks off.
Okay. Looking for Thruple?
I'm not going with you.
Okay.
We're not that. We're too close as it is. We don't need to be thruppling.
Yeah. We don't need. Yeah, we don't need that. What do you saw? An inch of tissue? Is that between
Yeah,
us?
a little bit in the perineum.
So there you go. Tain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
But what is gonna happen? Taking Beverly Hills next week. See you then, and keep that turkey war.